Let's check Twitch. You're live.
What was that?
You know you're live, right?
It was a hiccup.
Was it?
You're live. You're not allowed to
door.
hiccup. Don't hiccup. You're live.
We're not on the main channel. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it's against the terms of service to hiccup on the main channel.
Yeah.
I need a mod to do it. I don't know how to host myself. Can I just do that?
I think.
Do you want me to alert Nightjar? I think it happens.
Does it?
Just have patience.
No, is it not a manual thing? I think someone has to do it, doesn't they?
Yeah.
There's a big lever, and someone just goes and it hosts.
Host.
I don't have host privileges. Where's the host? Why don't we know? Why don't we have this?
Who's a mod?
I think I am. How do we
You're
do
a
it?
mod.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do
I'm
it.
a mod.
Oh, it's exclamation mark raid forward the forward.
No,
forward
mods.
question mark.
Oh, wait.
Mods can't
Yeah,
raid.
I don't have
You
permission
need an
to perform
editor.
that action.
Oh.
Do you want me to
I'm
ask
an editor.
Nightjar?
I can do it.
Oh yeah, you do it.
Oh wait, I'm not.
Fuck.
I don't know how to do it.
Oh man, I probably should have thought this out.
No.
But surely it
Oh,
isn't
Vlad
there
says, are
like...
you ready on your channel?
Yeah, I'm ready.
chat?
We've
you go.
never been more ready.
Is
Fringe
Fava?
is really annoying me. Look at that. Look at that.
Briony, save this for the stream.
That's
Take
gold.
this for when there's
gold.
hundreds watching.
There's gonna be like 30 more people here.
We're coming on after a rerun of High Rollers.
Yeah.
Was it a good one?
Yeah, sure.
Tom, was it a good one?
I've never seen a high roller, so I don't know what makes a good one. Was it good?
Your
70.
Birdman do things?
No, maybe.
I mean, you didn't heal.
That's me. You got me.
How do
Oh,
I
here we
pop
go.
out
We're
of
ready
chat?
now.
Oh,
All right.
found it.
So intro, boom. This is the YogBlog. We do it every now and then. We're supposed to have it. Oh, I have myself on the background. God damn it. We're supposed to have it. on the background. God damn it. What's going on here? Hang on, I hear myself like 10 times.
Have you got Twitch open 10 times?
Do I have Twitch open twice?
Have you got Twitch open 10 times?
20 times?
Oh, I do. You're right. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Yeah, you're right. All right, we're good now. Sorry about that. All right, so welcome to YogBlog. It's where we're interviewing different Yog members. Today we have Tom Bates from High Rollers.
Son of a bitch.
We got...
Son of a bitch.
There's no way to introduce yourself, Tom.
Oh, I'm gone already.
I'm sorry. I had to get that joke in. We got... No, I'm actually on the spot. I actually can't remember your last name now.
Fucking hell. Well,
Introduce yourself. You're making it
one tell him.
awkward.
No one tell him.
thanks,
Jesus.
Silas. I'm Tom Hazel.
There we go. We
Says one now.
got Tom Hazel. We got Briony, who I completely forgot her first name.
Do you think my surname is Briony?
I think your name is Briony.
I'm a Pokemon.
One after another. I can't remember Alex's last name either. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with me?
His surname's
You don't need full
Pee-pee.
names, just first names.
Alex Peepee.
This is
That's
a good
fine.
way to cover up that you don't know who I am, Daltos.
We got I played Hippo Stack with you and your girlfriend. I know who you are. We were like brothers
yeah.
after that.
Who, uh,
And who knows their brother's name?
No.
Me.
Briony, who like legitimately, I can't remember your name now. Like,
You
We-
keep using it. My name is Brian.
We invited you to our wedding.
I mean, you didn't show up, but you were invited.
Oh, that's
it's
nice.
like Alex and what the hell's your other name? It was a
Well,
lot
maybe
of
if you'd come to
money.
the wedding, you wouldn't know.
Can't remember.
Alex Bates.
Alex Bates. There we go. Thank you.
This is a hell of an intro.
We have another Alex who I've never talked to before, but I recognize you because we were in the Kongs together after the.
Alex?
No.
Wait, it's not-
Your name's not Alex?
I'm Chris. Hello.
Chris. And then we have Alex. We're gonna start over.
Can we just go Alex for the rest of the...
Can we go print off some name tags?
Alex Smith. Yeah, it's Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Yeah. Did you think
How
I
many
was Smith?
people do you think I'm married to?
I apologize.
I already have
Uh,
a
Who?
I'm guessing to all of you.
I was watching.
How little I know any of you. Um, Jesus Christ, I guess this is a good thing we're doing this. I've listened to several of your podcasts too. I should probably
Have
get this.
you?
Yeah, I have. I listened to the Rydian one. I
fine.
listened to the
What's
first
the name
one.
of it?
Pitch Please.
You got it.
I thought it was Pitch Perfect for a while too.
So did Lewis.
Right?
Give us a shout out on the Triforce.
I mean,
Go
like,
listen.
to Pitch
Everyone's
Perfect.
a different podcast.
I think we did come up with a better name though, like a few episodes after.
Feature creep.
Feature
It was
creep?
Feature Creep or Day One
I think-
Patch.
I think it's
No.
they want patch. No, that we looked at that one to begin with, and that does exist. That's why we didn't
Oh,
use
right.
it. I think feature creep. I think is a bit too gamey. Like I feel like it's too.
Feature creep.
Yeah, that sounds like
yeah,
a,
but
a
Brian
movie
doesn't even
thing
know what
or
that is.
something.
That's-
Well, it just
Yeah.
sounds creepy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It does. Yeah, it makes it sound like creeps.
It's
Which we might be, but that's.
That's our market.
we just
Yeah.
target those creeps. No, you guys. I think Pitch Please is a great name. I think it's
Thank you.
of course it rhymes off of
Alex
Pitch
came up with that
Please
one.
and- Alex did.
That was Alex's idea.
I did.
Why are you speaking in the
I
third
did.
person?
That was me.
What's my name, Chris?
Oh,
Daltos.
Yeah, what's my name though?
Isn't it Nick?
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh,
Oof.
are we
I'm
live
just
yet?
really good.
No,
at
we've been
Googling
live.
stealthily.
I'm both a terrible friend and a terrible host. Just answer me this: did you drink in Kongs that one night with me? Were you there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. All right, so I'm not
It's fine,
misremembering.
you never called me Alex to my face. I think
That
you
was
just-
Alex, no.
we would you point and
thought-
oi.
I thought you were just saying you never called me.
You never called me after that night.
You stood me
That's
up.
why I got you here today on this stream.
Oh my God.
When
So
are
if-
we starting?
we've been in
Oh
it
shit.
for a while now. So Tom's drinking right now.
Yeah.
What you got there?
Dicky P. Dr. Pepper. Just Dr. Pepper.
Okay,
Straight.
sure.
Hard.
Straight hard Dr. Pepper. On the rocks.
Do you know,
I
like,
need it.
down in Texas, they start their kids on Dr. Pepper at like 3 years old or 2 years old. It's like their orange juice down there.
Oh
Well, you can-
God,
you can
really?
trust him.
Yeah.
He's got a doctorate. So
Yeah.
you know.
It knows something
It's
about
Dr.
something.
Pepper PhD.
So why don't you tell me, Chris? Tell me a little bit about Pitch, Please.
So Pitch Please is the podcast that me, Tom, and Alex host. Even though Alex always forgets that I am there.
Yeah, so does
at the
Daltos.
end. So does Daltos. And it's basically there's what happens is we get normally it's Tom. So we have a few other devs that join us, and Tom pitches us an idea from his pitch hole, his big bag, his deep
My big
cavernous
Deep
hole
cavernous,
of
vacuous, deep
pitches.
pitch hole.
And basically what happens is he tells us a general idea, and then we either tell him it's shit, or we try and flesh it out to make it less shit, and then we come up with a name, and then 2 weeks later we're told, oh, it's just this game from 2001 that was
Yeah, this
out
game
on the
that already
PlayStation.
exists.
This game already exists. Oh, don't you mean this? By people who listen.
People
So-
who've already seen it,
Yeah, I don't
absorbed
think
it, and hate it.
There's no such thing as a creative, like a new idea anymore.
Yeah.
No.
What was the most creative idea you've ever heard? Because you work in the industry, and I'm sure people throw it around a lot.
I think the one that just came out was really good. We had with Mark Humes.
What did Mark
terms
Hughes
of
come up
Terminal.
with?
That was the biggest idea.
Terminal
That's
was,
the most
was great
idea.
because it was just, but it was so fleshed out to begin with, and it was actually a pretty decent idea, I thought. Right?
Okay.
The most creative idea I think we just had that we recorded that's not gone out yet with Matt's Castle. from Rock
Matt
Shotgun.
Castle
That
of
was
an actual
fantastic.
journalist.
Are
Yeah,
you joking?
you-
Not hashtag blessed.
That
Oh,
was
hashtag
no,
Blessed.
actually
Oh.
hashtag Blessed was pretty great, but I feel like a lot of those kind of games already exist. A mobile game where you text people.
Yeah.
You
That's
text
not what it
you mobile.
was.
I mean,
And
it was.
then
pretty-
We
I forgot.
sometimes make roguelikes.
We always make roguelikes. And I always
But-
try and introduce Slay the Spire deck building mechanics
Yes.
into it.
Yeah, those are the two main things, roguelikes.
Yeah,
But like the idea of the podcast really was that it's not just discussing games. It's the idea that there are people who play a lot of games and people who make games as well, and trying to bring those two things together.
Yeah. Try
But
and
it's also
So try and discuss game design a little bit. I mean, we try our best. But
I try and encourage that. That helps.
yeah, it's
But
not
it's
just
also-
about
it's
the
also good to
idea.
show
It's,
that just because you can eat doesn't mean you can cook.
yeah.
Which is nice. Just because you play a lot of games doesn't mean the thing you're gonna come up with is great.
Is a
Well,
good
hang-
idea or feasible
But
or
just because
anything
you
like
make games doesn't mean it's gonna be great either. So
I'd
Tom
argue
went to,
that like
prototype.
95% of my game ideas, not Human Crossing, that was a bad idea, have been great ideas.
yeah, once
I'd argue that I'm
we've-
actually the greatest game
you know.
designer of our generation.
People,
I just haven't made a game yet.
I've had a lot of comments saying, "Wow, is that Tom Hazel, aka Peter Molyneux?"
we're more of a Phil Fish.
You might not have heard of it, but I came up with a little game that people call Fable. So
really?
Right.
remember
Well,
Milo? That was me.
Milo?
I'm Milo.
You came up with Slay the Spire, right? Before
yeah,
it came out.
You did?
That was your idea.
Or the concept
Yeah.
of it?
yeah, and then someone made it, and I keep getting angry about it.
Yeah.
That's why we do Pitch Please, is so I can put my ideas into the internet, so it's recorded forever. So if people make my
Right.
game, I can sue them. That's the
you have
plan.
like you have a patent law right there.
Yeah, I lawyer up. Just
what-
go to Tang.
So I see a lot of games like that. You build a card deck and you go through a roguelike. Roguelikes seem to be popular, right?
They normally are because they normally don't cost that much, and you get infinite replayability. Like those are the buzzwords that really shift units.
Synergy.
Sure,
Paradigm shifts.
Yeah, blue sky thinking.
I mean,
Brian-
Brian,
these are-
you love Slay the Spire, don't you? Every time I've been on a call, with you, I've heard nothing but praise and definitely not swear words. And shouting and just anger.
I've had to stop playing it on stream. I played it on stream for quite a while, but now I can't contain the feelings that I feel when I play it. So yeah,
It
that's
seems
my
very
that's my-
off-brand.
Yeah, it's my anger game now. Like literally the other day, I booted it up and I was playing it, and Alex, I can't remember what you were doing. He was doing something else, and he looked across at my screen and he goes, "Oh, do you hate yourself today?"
I've just noticed the title of this stream is Pitch Please with Briony, Alex, and Tom.
Fuck.
I think you should keep it.
God
That's fine.
damn it.
Also, another little icing on this cake. Pitch Please with Briony. Like the first name is someone who's never been in Pitch Please.
I was just about to ask that, Brian. Are you even in it?
And I love the I love the fact you've literally got names that start with ABC and yet they're not in order.
I also like that in the Discord call, you can literally see Chris's name. So you called out Chris and went,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that must be Alex."
It's nice and crispy. What's his name?
Oh my
What's his name
god.
that's nice and Alex-y?
I didn't expect to
That's
be
fine.
exposed this bad.
That's fine.
Sorry.
And also, yeah, so Alex has said that Briony's not allowed on Pitch Please yet. So Briony, you gotta take this chance while you can.
This is really Bronny's
I've
episode.
not,
Yeah.
I've not thought of a game though. I wasn't expecting to. I was very confused as to why I was here. I
You
won a
must have
competition.
a
I'm their
game
biggest
idea.
fan.
You must have a game idea.
I remember there was like ages ago, just before Pitch Please, Alex asked me if I could make any game. What would I make? And I came up with a game.
No, you can't give it
like-
out now.
No, I'm not now, but I came up with a
Say
game
that.
like so
She's
good
never gonna
that I
be on
Why?
the show. Come on.
Yeah, this is her chance. This is her one shot.
Yeah.
I was genuinely sad that it didn't exist because I became so attached to it, just thinking like, oh, that'd be amazing. Which coincidentally is how I feel about Mind Splitter. I'm sad that that doesn't exist.
What
I thought
was
it was a
it?
great idea.
What's
I thought
Mind
that was one of
Splitter?
our best ones.
Go on,
Explain
Alex.
Mind Splitter.
Tom, that
It's
was
one
yours,
of
wasn't it?
Tom's ideas that was inspired by Alex thinking that he was pissing himself.
Yeah.
No, it
Oh,
wasn't. It
yeah.
wasn't that I was. It was just the idea.
What?
It's just right, Delta.
No,
you-
yeah.
I-
Alex,
you
tell
might
us.
have had it before. Do you ever like when you
Go on.
keep saying Tom off?
I forgot about
Um,
that. I love
when you
that
go-
every time Alex is involved in anything, it devolves into that time when he pissed himself.
Well, that time, the Jesus saved his hat.
What,
From
when
getting
my,
hit by a
Sorry.
car.
Yeah, let's go back to Mind Splitter. Just
No, it wasn't
recap Mind
Jesus. It
Splitter.
was it was divine wind.
Yeah.
So basically, when you're going to the bathroom for a tinkle, do you ever just before you're about to actually do it? Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I just think, oh shit, am I actually in a dream? And I'm
I
gonna
get
wake
it.
up now, and I'm actually pissing myself. I'm pissing the bed.
I thought
Just
you were
for a
gonna
second.
pull some
And then I
Matrix
realized I'm
stuff on
not.
that, but no, it's you're pissing yourself when you think you're actually pissing in real life.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I'm not. I'm actually just at a toilet urinating. It's fine. And then
I
you carry
have
on.
it when like 'cause
No.
back when I had a job. Do you remember those days when we used to leave the house and work? I
the before
I used
times.
to have really like early shift, and I swear my first tinkle of the day, I would always think, "Oh God, I'm pissing in the bed again."
still-
Yeah,
Oh,
if
I'm
you just
so
woken
asleep.
up,
Not again.
maybe, or
Not again.
like,
I meant that was a thought again.
Not again.
I feel like you've both done this enough that it worries you. Like you've both
Never
woken up
I
stay,
think the
and
thing
never
is-
stay in our bed.
Oh, no.
Slept
Because
over
you
one
share
time,
our house.
soaking wet when I
Our
got
house
up.
is-
Oh no, that's it. Because you share, you don't know who did it, so you've blamed each other, and then you've both got it into your head that you both do
You're
it.
both doing it.
No,
You
but
s-
the
And really,
thing
Alex
once
is just
you-
pissing
once you do it
everywhere,
once,
blaming
you like it's just you just think of it more every time you go to the bathroom. Like it will cross.
It
It
now
will just
happens all the
cross your
time.
mind at different points. It's frequent.
So do you get that, Daltos, or?
No, I actually never experienced that. I know I'm pretty rock solidly in this reality. I can tell when I'm peeing
Okay.
or not. Yeah.
The next time you go, question it.
Question it. How's that a
Yeah.
game?
Okay, so Mind
Wow.
Splitter is a game where you have. I think we ended on. It's a game where you have 60 seconds in one room. It's like a puzzle game, and you do things in certain orders. Like you go to the bookcase, you inspect a book, and then you look at the light switch, you flick the light switch, and you're trying to figure out how stuff activates. Then 60 seconds is up, and then all of a sudden you are switched to a different room, a different reality.
Okay.
Right. And then you sort of, in the time that you were doing stuff in the other room, stuff starts activating in your room, right? So if you flick the light switch in the other room, in that other reality, then at that same time in the second try, the lights will turn on, or a door will open, or something different will happen. And it's a puzzle game where you have to synchronize with yourself in your different realities, and that's how we got to it from pissing.
There's a game that I was
Piss
disappointed you
goes
didn't mention.
downhill.
You kept talking about like looping games and like a 60-second loop and everything, but there's literally a game called Minute that is just 60
Yeah.
seconds
Yeah.
loop.
Yeah.
No
Well-
one brought it up, and I kept being like, Minute, you're
Minute.
saying the word.
Minute.
I've played that and I never brought it up.
Well, I just googled minute, and all that's come up is telling me the definition of what a
MINIT.
minute is.
Yeah. The old
M-
60-second divide, thanks to the ancient Babylonians. They divided by base 60. That's where we got that. I just learned that on Reddit today. Anyways, how would you even begin to program a game like that? That sounds.
They don't get that far.
Oh, okay.
They
No,
just
we
talk
did
about
talk
the,
about it.
All right.
did talk about it.
So
Having
what was the
Exactly.
answer? Chris, the game programmer.
Well, you just so every time if it's okay, say it's based on a keyboard. So if I press a button, I know that I've only got 60 seconds, so I just log the button press or the action and the time I did it, and then when I replay back through, I go, is this time the same as that time? And if yes, then just do that action. I just perform it. It's like you're just pre-programming commands.
Yeah, it's like
And
learning the
Tom's
language. Yeah.
asleep.
Tom, that apparently killed Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we don't talk about game shit on our game design podcast.
I thought that would be the most interesting part.
Yeah, I know. We do talk about it. I was just joking.
No, we don't talk about programming. We barely talk about design. I think that was the most we went into design, because I think was that the episode where I literally just shouted out, "Why have we not talked about game design on this game design podcast?"
Yeah, we had an argument about it. Because I kept saying, it doesn't matter, who cares?
Yeah.
Interestingly, that episode has one of the lowest views.
Oh, but it's
wow.
the best. It's the best one. I love that.
It's
Well,
probably my
no,
favorite
like,
idea that we've.
That
talked about.
having said that, I love the idea that I had of the game I would have made from what you were talking about. That's
Okay.
what
That's
I
the
loved of
thing.
it.
We never go so in depth that I don't think we ever end up on like a 100%. This is the game, right? Like,
No, no.
I think because we did the John Quick Card Slinger game, right, which was a
Fantastic.
platforming deck builder.
Yeah.
And then someone made it, but they introduced their own elements to it already. Someone made it in like 3 days or something.
Yeah.
And he already introduced like new elements to it that was like, oh yeah, we didn't actually talk about that, but they were like listening to the episode, and I guess they had their own ideas. And that's the beauty of Pitch Please.
Yeah.
Is that we come up with the idea that other people can make money off.
Yeah.
No, because we lawyer up and we sue their ass.
Yeah,
We go down
you're
on
like
them
a-
hard.
You're just missing the
No.
lawyer up part right now. You should start doing
Yeah.
that part, making some money.
So the thing talking about game design. Sorry, you
No,
keep
go ahead.
carry on. I was going to say
Yeah.
the thing why we should talk about game design is because everyone at the end of the episode has a completely different image in their head of how this the thing plays out.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Is when you say like, "How do you imagine this game?" and one person will be like, "The Sims," and the next person will be like, "Oh, it's a
Yeah.
like a first person."
First-person game, yeah.
Well,
Shooter.
we have
First
tried to
person
get
shooter
better at that.
Sims would be great.
Well, we start having recaps now. About halfway through, we'll have a quick recap to see if we're all roughly on the same page, which is usually almost never. But
Yeah.
then that allows us to start going in the right direction.
Oh,
Brian's
Bryony's
choking,
dying.
so-
Yeah. That's normal.
She's dead.
I like the fact that Briony moved away from her mic closer
Yeah.
to Alex's.
We can't die on screen.
So either way, we heard it.
Sorry.
Either way, Alex is getting whatever I'm getting. So what was your idea, Bryony? What was your big game idea that you were disappointed isn't made?
That's the problem. I can't remember now.
Right.
Perfect.
Sounds like a hit.
If I ever get on Pitch Please, I'll remember it.
Have you got another?
But it's
What's yours, Daltos? Oh no,
Yeah.
wait, hang on. Do you have a B idea? Because you should come on the actual podcast at some point.
The B
So,
idea?
yeah,
This
yeah.
is our
what's
podcast,
your-
by the way.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go then, Alex.
You can
Alex,
just
see
steal
Good
the
luck
this.
editing this one down.
This can't be the podcast.
It's perfectly
We've
fine.
only
I
got
got all
one
your
dev
names
here.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. For one point, I'm here, so it
Okay.
can't be Pitch Please.
All right. I'm sure you're going to have two amazing A ideas, so that you'll come up with the second one in the future. But for now, what's your
My B
What's your A
idea.
idea?
Oh, my A idea. You want the,
yeah?
the-
What's your
the
A idea?
grade A stuff. One thing I've always been disappointed in is retro games that have never really been fleshed out. Remember old Ken Griffey baseball for like the SNES?
No.
I'll bring it up
We
on
are
screen here.
very English.
I know.
I don't think I've ever played a baseball game. Yeah, I don't really know what it is. It Rounders?
Baseball. Yeah, it's
That's a great-
Rounders, basically. I'm sorry, guys, fucking falling asleep
Children
in
play
chat.
that
This
over
is
here.
my idea. I don't understand.
I searched Ken Grippy and it's given me different types of cutlery. Is that? Oh, it's
What?
like really easily gripped cutlery. Wait, I'll send you the picture. Look at this. Look at these grippy cutleries.
Right, sorry, Daltos, this will happen a lot.
She's right though. It's important to get good cutlery.
From grippy to grown up.
You can get ones with grippy sleeves. Look, you can put the little grippy sleeves on them.
No one can see this, you know.
You know,
Well,
I'm sending it to Doubter.
In what
in
the
the
group
Discord.
chat.
Oh my
So
God,
this
we've
is
got
what
an
happens
actual
when I
review by Ken. Look.
when I minimize here. This is what all the screens took like on my thing. Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Man, these things are grippy.
Man,
is
these
great.
things are grippy.
Man, these things. Can I get this on my main screen? I'm not even sure I do this. I have to change scenes.
Man, these things are grippy.
Scene
Ken.
2. Yeah. You're just like, damn. He's like in traffic thinking about it later.
Yeah.
I think
Remember how grippy those things
Those
were?
things were?
It was so grippy.
Jeez.
Anyway, so no, we don't remember Ken Grippy baseball.
The cutlery.
Those images that you just showed, Daltos, remind me of the what's the golf game from The Simpsons?
Oh,
You have selected no.
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 Lee Harvey's putter or something. I can't
that
even
was it,
remember.
yeah.
No, I think that there's a huge untapped market in retro football and retro baseball games. Everyone loves Techno Bowl. Everyone loves Ken Griffey Jr. Everyone loves the original hockey game.
Techno-Bowl.
Yeah, right. Like even if you
What's
don't know
technical?
Tecmo Bowl, you don't remember that? That's one of those
No.
like this was like a classic NES game. Back
Oh,
in
I
the day.
do remember this.
Yeah, right. Stuff like this. People are all about this crap,
Okay, yeah.
right? There's an app on the App Store That's I'm sorry.
Where else?
It's $1 a piece, right? And it's a super high-rated app. A ton of people download it because people are craving retro games, but no one's really expanded on it. They haven't made, like, think Football Manager, but with a retro feel on top of it.
So is your idea a mobile game, or is
No,
it
it's an actual.
expanding it to...
Think
Okay.
you ever hear Pyrian's been playing this lately? Pyrian Flax. It's called Out of the Park Baseball, right?
I've seen him play it, but I've not actually watched him.
Oh,
play
it's
it.
because it's blisteringly boring. You'll know.
Okay.
That's not for people. It's basically a spreadsheet game, right? You can build your own baseball team, trade for contracts and stuff like that. But then they get into this mode right here that I have pulled up on screen, and you can't really interact at all, right? You can't swing the bat, you can't field or anything like that. And I think there's just a big untapped market to put this product with a retro feel on top of it. Use this, but combine it with Ken Griffey Jr. I think this is why I haven't been on your pitch, please, before. I don't have any ideas.
I'm
There's
glad
a
we're
slight
discussing this
issue-
now.
There's a slight issue with the pitch itself. A pitch that is meant to last 50 minutes to an hour, because basically the rules of the game, it's baseball, and we can't really flesh that
Cards.
out or add to it. Deck slinging, cards,
Right. No,
deck
no, you,
building.
Oh.
you throw down a curveball.
Man, yeah,
And you're
can
like,
you put-
bam. Okay, this is what
Oh
I'm
my
gonna do.
god.
Is it a
You
card
see,
slinger?
it always comes back to cards.
What if it was a card slinger combined with baseball? You throw
Yeah.
the curveball pitch. You have to
Yeah.
spend mana on it.
And you have
And
to,
that
you have
is
to
the
build a deck.
only baseball reference I know. So you're gonna have to come up with the rest.
Can we take
I
back?
know the thing. There's the thing that keeps getting quicker, where it's like.
It's not
That's baseball,
that.
isn't it? But that's
The
isn't
only-
that like the baseball theme?
Yeah.
Ba-ba-da-bam-ba-ba.
that-
The
that's
only,
what-
what
baseball
does that
reference I
mean?
know
What are you saying, Tom?
is Police Squad, like when it's what is he, the backstop? Is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
The umpire,
And
we
he's just-
call it.
Yeah, he's just yelling, yeah,
Calling everyone out.
strike,
Because the crowd keeps cheering whenever he calls a strike, so he
Yeah.
keeps doing it.
strike two.
That was the first time I've ever heard about the Queen of England, I think, too. She was in that movie.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, such a good film. Holy shit.
Can we
I'm trying to think
erase...
How you could, Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Carry on.
no, because I want to erase this whole pitch. I don't want to do this pitch anymore.
Okay.
Sure.
Because I know you've been thinking about it, Chris. You're like, okay, you can do this, do that. I'm just saying erase
can
it out of your
rewind.
mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Alex Smithy from Hat Films had this great idea.
Oh,
What if
he's with us today.
he is?
Yeah, he's in the
Don't-
bottom left.
don't
corner.
scare
Anyone
me
want to
like
see my
that.
lizard?
We were talking about, wouldn't it be great, a tongue-in-cheek fighting game where it's like a barbarian versus a warrior fighting it out, but in present-day locations, like right in the middle.
Oh, hang on. I hate to say it. I think it existed.
Yeah?
Wasn't there a series called Ultimate Warrior or something?
Yeah,
Maybe.
there was a TV show called Ultimate. No, it was like there was a TV show that was that, right? It was just what would happen if you picked
And it was
Jack
like
Sparrow
samurai
against a
versus
dinosaur.
pirate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And I think they made a game about it. I'm almost certain they made a game where you could be
Deadliest Warrior.
You pick like samurai and you're
That's right.
against a ninja or like a Viking or
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was it called Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, it's
No, the
Deadliest
rest was
Warrior, and yeah,
Deadliest.
there it is.
Deadliest Warrior the game.
So
if it was a game off the show, though, it's probably going to be not good, right? They probably haven't thought it through much.
Probably no,
course.
it's probably not very good. But you're saying that, but modern day. So
in the
why
middle of a
modern day?
Tesco's,
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay.
and you just everything is physics based. You can just grab things, huck it at people.
Oh, you can smash them in the self-service.
Yeah, smash the self-service. Have a fight in a in a playground, right?
Yeah.
You can have like people playing on the slides and stuff, and just have a
I feel like
barbarian charge. into it.
It's like chivalry, but in Sainsbury's.
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But just pick up a baguette.
Yeah, and you can use the baguette as a
Throw someone
weapon.
in the self-service, as Tom said.
This
you know,
sounds kind of like wrestling to me. Just like like when they have the backdoor like fights or whatever they're called. They just
Yeah.
go out to the
Yeah,
arena and-
man, the wrestling games, they never took them out of the arena, did they? I think they should. I think they
Right?
should start like just really tearing up New York.
You could just do that. two wrestlers, right? The Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, just fighting it out in someone's coffee shop.
Yeah, and every fight starts with them like seeing each other for the first time in this place. Like, oh, you two enjoy coffee,
Right? But for the selling point though is the crowd has to be seeing this for the first time. It has to be like this just happens right in front of you. You've never seen this before.
Nice.
So are the crowds, they're just like dynamically animated? They just react to what? Okay.
Yeah.
No 2D assets.
No, I mean, you can have it like a old Street Fighter game where they're just running at each other like that. I was thinking more like 3D. Like you just start fighting in the middle of a Tesco's. There's a bunch of people around. You can use them as weapons. You can just, like you said, slam
Can there
people in the
be an
face.
element like where if you have that introduction to the beginning? Do you know how wrestlers give those little smack talk monologues?
Yeah.
To each
saying.
other? Can there be some kind of
bad.
like can there be some kind of like initial? I don't know whether it's like maybe not a dialogue tree, but something in there where you have to like
Unbelievable.
construct. What?
That again, like if there's anything that keeps coming up in Pitch Please, I introduce deck
dialogue trees.
building
It's you
and
two.
roguelikes, right? Alex every single time says there should be a dialogue tree, and
No, okay,
that
not a
always
dialogue
leads us
tree,
to
like,
maybe this is a
what if-
dating sim then.
So
Right, okay, hang on,
Tom is cards, Alex is dialogue, and I'm weird meters that shouldn't be in games like piss or diabetes was one of
Okay,
them.
you make it appropriate. Yeah. Okay, it's not that, right? What if you have a word cloud of things, of insults you have to string together to make some
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
weird
it's like
sense and
Twitch
put that
plays
together.
Smack Talk.
Yeah, and then you have to do that against your opponent's word cloud as well. So you have to that versus that, but you have no idea what they're going to look like, what they're going to like, what stats they're going to have put into them. So you might be calling them weak or something, and actually they're super massive and
Isn't that a Jackbox game?
How does that affect
Yeah.
the fight?
maybe it's taking.
Where you have like a rap
Maybe you have because in WWE 2K or whatever it is, that you have like what's that meter that you have? It's not just stamina. There's like another
Def
one.
Jam. What is that what we're making now?
Special meter.
There's like there's a meter that's like your it's like your how pumped up you are or something. I can't
Or
remember
like a
what it is.
Hype meter.
Hype
Yeah,
meter,
like
yeah.
maybe a height meter. Yeah, maybe that affects like if you win the smack battle, then you start the game with 10% hype extra, 10% more hype than your opponent or something.
Right?
How does hype affect your battle?
More attack
finish-
damage?
Yeah.
Higher meter?
I reckon if you get the hype meter to full, you get your finisher. So maybe for some people, it's like you can just pull out a gun,
Yeah.
or
He's
or
got a
maybe it's like-
gun.
What if
yeah,
your hype
I don't know.
builds your hype man and he is your tagging, right?
Yeah.
So the more hype you have, the better your hype man is.
You
So
can
wait,
have
so hang on. So in this Tesco's we have
Yeah.
two wrestlers, two
Yeah.
hype men,
yeah.
and a crowd of people watching the fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
and
the
also one
crowd
dude has a gun.
crowd's a shop. Yeah, you can have a guy with a gun. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You
Alright.
I feel like this is more appropriate if it's not superheroes. It's sounding more and more just like drunk homeless people.
Wait,
Maybe
superheroes?
Or wrestlers
the-
or yeah.
When was
That's,
it superheroes?
yeah.
Yeah, Alex, it was never superheroes.
Yeah.
It was like ninjas and knights.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah,
it was like
samurais.
old warriors of lore. Like, yeah, samurais, pirates.
Okay, all right. So yeah,
For
so
honor,
what
but
would
in that, yeah.
Vikings- What
You'd have
would a
just like a
Viking
modern
finisher
soldier.
be?
The Viking finisher is he just sticks a hatchet in his head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can it be like? Do you remember that couple that were complaining that Tesco wouldn't do hot pasties before 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
like a massive like news thing about it. It can just be people like them.
Yeah, in the crowd
Um,
or as the
heroes.
fighters. Yeah.
Fighting
Oh, I
Fighting.
see.
Oh my god.
And each other.
pasties.
Like you know how like in Black Market Friday or Black Friday when people fight over a product, you'd have them as the
Oh.
fighters.
Oh, that's
Oh,
it. Black
And
Friday.
the entire game is to try and get as much monetary value in products as you can.
You're a looter.
it's supermarket sweep.
Supermarket
No.
sweep, but
Dale Winton is the announcer.
Dead?
He's
Fine.
dead.
He's not dead.
I'm
He's
pretty
just
sure.
very orange.
I get confused been. He's not the one with the dead
He
guy in his
kept getting
pool,
more
is
and more
he? Is that
orange.
the
and
other
he just
one?
merged with the sun. And it's
Oh, he is dead.
I thought he died
When did
recently.
he die? Oh,
18th of April.
2 years ago.
2018.
Well, that there goes that. Can't announce it then.
We can use
But get an
use clips.
impersonator.
Did
Yeah, we
someone
get
take
clips in
photos?
the show.
It's cheaper.
really, really
Show.
badly edited together, like that Homer Simpson interview.
He's masked,
no.
he's masked out.
Patch the lines
I
together.
like that sweet candy.
That Ryland guy, you know, the guy who's basically a walking smile, he took over. He does
Wait.
Supermarket Sweep now.
Supermarket Sweep
That's
still
happening,
exists.
really.
It always
Still sweet.
exists.
Daltos, can you show us?
It always
the
exists.
supermarket
It's a constant in the
I want
universe.
to see it.
There's two things are certain in life:
Sweet.
death and Supermarket Sweep.
Sweet. It will continue after the death of the universe. It's going to be.
At an atomic level, there will be a supermarket sweep. That's how the universe was made.
Is that what it
Planets,
looks
They
like
were just
now?
collecting.
I guess,
They were
yeah.
collecting in mass and matter.
They look like they're part of S
Oh.
Club 7. The
It's such a big headache.
everyone loves the
And they'd be-
concept of
they'd be like,
sweeping food in.
You
Yeah.
know the hype meter. Can it eventually build up? I've just seen someone say Karen the game. It could just build up until eventually you can just smack a button that says I'd like to talk to the manager.
It's like an
Oh, no
insta-kill.
way.
There's a fighting game out there.
The guy with the teeth.
The guy with the
Yeah,
teeth.
that's
The guy with the teeth.
There's
Yeah, you
Right.
might know him.
the One Punch Man video game. You can play as One Punch Man. The only way to win is that you delay long enough, and then One Punch Man shows up and instantly wins the game. And that's the Karen
Oh, yeah.
meter. The Karen meter
Yeah.
builds up, and then the manager shows up, and you win.
One punch man. No, it doesn't work. One punch manager. That doesn't really work.
One Punch Manager.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at that
imagine, like,
review.
the-
2 out of
the-
5 from The Guardian.
The character
Jeez.
creation screen is just all the same haircut.
Yeah.
Hair colour, blonde. Oh.
Dirty Blonde. Oh, man.
We
What-
could call it food fight.
Food fight. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't just have to be in a Tesco's. It could be anywhere.
I mean, I was
Being
just
an
true.
Asda.
Yeah.
Is there a
Morrison's.
looting element to it? Is it like
Yeah,
actually?
Like
What
the
if?
competitive element is like 1v1 me and B&Q, scrub.
It could be different employees, right? You have
Different
you're
stores.
pitting employees and stores against each other.
You
So
could
they
do
all
that
bring their
too.
own unique thing. Someone from B&Q, 2 before, and just whack
Yeah.
you with that.
Or
Someone
if you
from,
fight
like,
in B&Q,
a
you get
garden
the
centre.
you get the 2x4. It's like a nearby item you can grab.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god.
Asda, they bring their low prices.
Exactly.
It doesn't help them in a fight, but
Right.
So
I don't know, Tom.
There's just a lot of products to grab in that case. Like picture a Roman legionary
It'll
putting
help.
down his pilum and then picking up a 2x4 from B&Q and going at someone with that.
Exactly.
I'd love to see a Viking, with like a hacksaw or something.
Yeah. Oh,
See
that's
what
like
you can do
giving
with that.
that's like giving a gorilla a hacksaw, Combining
I think we
two.
should just, I think the only weapon in the game should be a hacksaw. Doesn't matter where you are.
What's
I
this
just want a
hacksaw
hacksaw
doing
in
in
a
this
fighting game.
garden?
You have to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be even more like the hype meter should be
Riddle.
crazy. Like it should be over the top. Like if it's going hype, like the Viking finisher should be like a longboat.
Yeah, you
Hello,
smack
yeah.
into them, you ram them with a longbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Mortal Kombat attacks or finishes.
Yeah.
Oh,
The supers,
So-
yeah.
So like the samurai one is like a very, in like Japanese films where you slice them and it just a massive spurt of blood.
Yeah.
That's like the
Oh, yeah.
samurai one.
Yeah.
yeah.
He gets
Um,
behind them and makes them do seppuku.
Teleports behind them, says nothing
Yeah.
personnel kid, and then finishes them.
And then all the people in the Tesco's like clap.
Yeah, they're loving it. Sprayed with blood. They're like head to toe covered in blood, and they're just.
Apart from this guy, his big teeth are showing. His big teeth,
Yeah.
white grin.
The only thing you can see is his white teeth. I think let's fuck it up even more. This game.
Just blind
I
you
think-
every now and again.
I think it should be an open world fighting game. You
Okay.
can just leave
What?
Tesco's.
Yeah. And fight out in the middle of the street.
Because like Dead or Alive, right? It has things where if you hit them off the arena, then they like fall
Yeah.
through some trees, they get bitten by a
Levels,
dinosaur,
yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
now
and then they go
like
into a different level.
Dead Rising?
Yeah,
Which is set in a
sorta.
shopping centre, But
No,
without,
this
but
is
the
the no.
zombies are just
They're zombies,
Black
right?
Friday
New
shoppers.
York in 1-to-1 scale in a
Right, so
fighting
it's
game.
the Division.
Yeah.
Chris, what you just said there is another great idea for a video game. Holy fuck. Dead Rising, but it's Black Friday.
There's no zombies.
No zombies at all. Make everyone just normal
Brain
people,
dead.
and you just.
Oh shit! It reminds me of that picture of the coronavirus protesters.
Oh my god. I blew up on I don't blow up in YouTube comments. I blew up on a YouTube commenter about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Christ.
So yeah, open world fighting game. Never seen it before.
No. You fight out of the Tesco's. You end
Has
up in
there
the
not
middle
been
of the
an open world
street.
fighting game before?
Yeah, there has.
Oh, has
Surely.
there?
Probably.
I mean, I'm
Everything
thinking of
we
what's the
say
name?
has been
I've,
made.
I've talked about Bushido Blade before. You know that PS one,
Isn't that
where
just
that was like
Dynasty
it
Warriors?
was 1v1, but it was a huge map. I say huge; it was probably like tiny, but huge for 1997. And it was just you were just two samurai fighting each other, and it was if you cut them once, it was like realistic-ish combat. So you would stab them once and they would die, or you could cut their leg or whatever and they would slow down. But the maps were huge, and you could fight each other across like fields and like mountains and go through woods and
Yeah.
stuff.
But
Could it
it's,
be like
it's-
Dynasty Warriors then?
How does that?
Where you and then like you're the main Karen, and then you've got your army of little shoppers, right? And then that's played by the AI, and then there's other Karens that you have
with their
to
own little shoppers.
gather. Or
I'm imagining like
defeat.
Shadow of Mordor now, where you're.
There's a hierarchy.
Oh my
Oh, that's
god!
it. You have to go up. You speak to the
Yeah, you
the
start
local
as
manager,
just
the store
cashier.
manager, regional manager, and then like CEO.
Until you
end.
take control of
This is it.
Tesco.
Yeah.
by
Take
getting the
control.
manager.
Yeah, the
You
entire.
unlock different
start with the branch,
powers.
and then you just
Yeah.
go. Oh,
I mean, when
the
I say
entire
fighting
fight
game, by the way, I'm imagining like Mortal Kombat, like that 1v1 sort of side view, Street Fighter style.
Yeah.
So not like I don't know. I saw Absolver when you were searching for it,
Yeah.
and that's
You
good,
mean
That's
this?
a funny one.
sorry.
You mean this?
that the
What I have on
funny one?
screen now? Absolver?
Result?
No, the
No.
bunny
Oh no,
one.
what's
Oh god, what was
What
that
is that?
called?
The humble bundle.
Overgrowth. Overgrowth.
Overgrowth? That was it. Yeah, yeah. That
Um,
looked kind of open worldy.
it's
right?
actually really fun.
Oh, is it Kenshi?
Oh, I know Kenshi. Kenchi's
Kenshi
not
2 is coming out soon. It's
Ken-
open world.
Kenchi's not a fighting game. It's like an open world survival game. It's impossible to play. Every time I play it, all my
Yeah.
guys die and I lose.
I know there's a new one coming out soon.
I did refund that game.
Yeah. It's a fun game to watch someone else play.
It's torturous. It's just grueling throughout. Kenshi, man.
But you refuse to play things unless they're on like won't you only play XCOM? You haven't finished XCOM yet because you only play it on the hardest difficulty Iron Man.
Not the hardest, no, but like, I don't know. I do like hard games. Kenshi wasn't. We talk about this a lot in the podcast, right? Hard for the right reasons, right? Like, Dark Souls is hard because, like, don't laugh, Chris. Come on.
What? It's a hard game.
Hard
It-
for the right reasons. This made me
It's
laugh.
hard. For the right
No.
it's hard, right? But every time you fail, you know why, and it's not like the game is just punishing you by RNG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's not hard. It's difficult. It's hard to master. But then Kenshi was like, I guess there's just a gang of like mega high level dudes
That
just
just
around the
ate
corner
me.
from me. Oh, okay, they've cut my leg off. Cool. GG then.
Yeah, I worked super hard to get my Kenshi group up, and I just ran to a bird that killed all of them. It was just like,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, and that's it's kind of like, all right, I guess I'll start again. I guess, cool, and the game just fucks you.
That's like a really good, and sorry to do this to you, Tom. That's a really good game design thing, as you said there, is that you need to make, when you're designing that kind of thing, you need to make it feel like the player made the mistake. You don't want people to feel like the game is punishing them. Like, you want to feel like, oh, the reason I died was because I did that thing wrong.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you feel like you died at random or because of something that the game did, then you become fed up with it and you don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
That's why.
What's a
That's
good
why
example
Alex,
of
XCOM.
XCOM is different because you're given the ratio. It says that because it's 88% and then you miss it, that happens. That's what percentage is. That's a chance.
I've
But the
had
problem is
other
it feels
things with
worse
XCOM.
because you're like,
What though?
that's a high number.
What was your
Yeah.
problems with
I've
it,
had
Briony?
things with XCOM where literally, and it was on stream, people saw, but I was aiming at one person and then I pressed a fire and it turned around and shot someone else.
Well,
Oh, that's
just
a glitch,
buggy
though.
game. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a glitch.
And
What I-
everyone was just like, that's
XCOM.
XCOM. It's like, no, that doesn't make it okay.
That's a
Okay,
glitch.
so a good example, Alex, is when Briony is playing Slay the Spire and you say, "Oh, you hate yourself today." That's the example. Is Slay the Spire is one of
Yeah,
those
but
games
no,
where you
I feel like-
know why
I feel
you're
like
failing.
this fire does do that
Yeah.
to you because you get so far and then it will be like, oh, I see that you've got 70 health. Well, this boss is randomly going to do 80 damage.
Yeah.
Bye.
Or you're gonna
It's not
run into the
random, it's
worst
not random
bosses
at
over and
all.
over again.
But every
feel like
boss
maybe
has
it's
like an order though, like a move order.
Yeah.
And you know after playing it through enough times, you know this boss does this thing and how it's going to
Yeah.
do it. Don't you shit
Learning
talk
the
Slay the Spire, Briony.
And I used to think that about Slay the Spire. I
It's
used,
his game.
I used to
Talking
think
about.
that Slay the Spire was a turgid game, like that guy says in chat. That's a good $10 word right there, turgid. But then, then I see Bree play it, and every time Bree plays it, he's like got the highest score out of everybody. He's doing 1 million damage, so there's got to be something to it.
Not the fastest though, is he?
No, he isn't. That's you.
That's me.
Yeah.
The thing is with Slay the Spire is that you're given those like encounters, but you have built this like deck up to prepare for that. So if you fail, it's because you haven't prepared, like you haven't got the right cards. So when you come back
Well,
in,
it
it's
just
like, okay,
doesn't give you the right cards.
Then you
That's
start
It's like
getting-
my friends like that, where it just doesn't give you
But
the cards.
That's the roguelike
you-
app.
it always gives you exactly what you need to build that particular deck. Like if you're being given a lot of block cards, then you're going to be given stuff to complement block, right? The game's perfect, Briony. All right.
Every way. You know what
It's
always
the
gets
best game.
you know what always gets me about what?
So you just have to read the patterns. Sorry, like to
Yeah.
is it basically that you have to read the so if it's giving you a certain cards and you like okay that means it wants me to have this build, so I have to I can't be like I want to be an aggressive build. It's telling me I have
Oh
to
no,
be
you
defensive.
totally can.
you can,
But
but you
I
need to.
Okay.
You need to like there's a level of like if I use too many of these like or if I go heavy on attack, then I'm not going to have like much room to have the cards that I know I need.
Right. Okay.
Or I can go more with the cards I need. I might not need them all, but they're useless for other bits, which is taking up space for things that I could do with. Okay, say this like deck this run requires for you to be really heavy on defense, but you still need to do some damage. So you're like, okay, I'll take this much defense and I'll take this much attack, and then you go, okay, well, I've got past the bit that I required loads of defense. Now I've just got loads of these defense cards which are left over, which I don't need, but I'm going to have to use them.
Yeah, you need to learn how to read the game. That's half the game.
Learn how to read, Alex.
Learn how to read.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. I played like one game of it. I actually need to play it.
So good.
So, Chris, and I'm going to ask you this, and I think Brian's felt this too with XCOM. What do you feel is? Do you feel it's a problem in game design when you walk up to an alien and you're a foot away from it, and you go to fire, and your guy pulls the gun up and fires like this because you had a 5% chance to miss? Shouldn't? I'm just saying, like in XCOM, if you're right in front of them, that should be like 100% all the time.
I think that's a problem with the game animation, right?
Yeah.
If you go up to them and the like you said, yeah, you go up to the guy and they're like right down the barrel of the gun, and they're just going like
Yeah.
fire in the air. I think there should be, if you're that close, then the alien should just dodge or just blocks the attack in some
You just
way.
have
Yeah.
like you could just say, oh, the gun misfired. So you just go like, "Thum," and it's like, oh, fuck. And
Yeah.
then, like you're again, that's not to do with percentage like being unfair.
No, of
and
course.
That's more to do with the way it's displayed to the player, which makes it feel worse. Like
Yeah.
it does like the fact that you're literally the barrel is touching their nose, and all of a sudden you're facing up in the air and you just shot. You
Yeah.
missed a 90% chance to hit. That is the limitation. There is that the annoyance there is that the way they presented it is that your character missed.
But that
If
was
they presented it as
How else could they present it though? Like,
not like a
Miss.
misfire.
Dodge.
yeah, but that was
well,
an
the character-
interesting
the
thing he
alien
just said
might
there.
do that.
Yeah, he said, "What if you
that-
just made the gun misfire?"
Feels a lot better to see,
Yeah.
and you're
The
like, oh, well,
misfire,
he
yeah.
dodged it, rather than
There's-
my
there's-
character
there's-
missed.
There's like 3 or
Yeah.
4 different types of hit as well, right? Like the standard one that just does damage. Then there's crit. Then there's the chance that they can
Wing
dodge
them.
it and graze them.
Oh,
Um,
grazed.
they've got the armor as well. So there's loads of different ways to hit the enemy, but only one way to miss them, and that's just miss. And I feel like the way that's displayed should be that they could dodge it, they could block it, they could whatever, and just negate the damage entirely.
Yeah.
And that's how you get around that. However, it's funny as fuck though, right?
Ah,
Well, that's what I was going to say. Also, like that's like I feel like a lot of people who don't even play XCOM know the game because of those memes.
yeah.
I think
Which is
my
pretty good for
favorite
it.
thing in XCOM is when you get someone and they make a critical shot and they absolutely like blast someone out of like off the face of the earth. Then there's what feels like a 4-second pause, and then
Yeah.
they're like, got him. just shorten that gap.
It took
Yeah,
a while
there's
for
some
the
mods to
soldier
fix
to connect in his brain synapses. What he did was good.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
a really
man.
good thing
Yeah,
they did with
God.
XCOM was add the turn order. I really like that.
Yeah.
That's a good
Oh, in
mechanic.
Chimera Squad.
Yeah, and the fact that you can reorder things using certain moves, I really like because you're in control. And again, that
Chimera Squad.
makes it so much better because the
That
player
felt a
is in
lot more
control
like
of their own.
like Into the Breach more than XCOM for me, to be honest. But Chimera Squad's great. It's a really good game. However, I don't know if that's the approach I want them to take with XCOM 3.
I don't think they were. I think they were just saying, "Hey, look, we want to try these things out. How can we do it without announcing an XCOM 3 like game with a beta or something like that? Let's make a quick game. We'll sell it really cheap so everyone fucking picks it up. Because it's like what? It was like £7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's super worth it.
and it's like a really good 20-hour game. And
Yeah.
they've gone, here's all the new ideas we want to use. We'll figure out from the general consensus what people like, what they don't like, which you shouldn't always listen to.
Oh.
But I think it's a good way of if you've got the time and money that Fire Axis do, it's a good way of doing it. And also, hey, new XCOM game.
As a game designer, do you ever notice those little things that companies do? Like you just explained that away. Exactly. They want to test out new mechanics and stuff without putting a full label on it. They just release this out. They're probably going to put out a new IP or something attached to these mechanics. Sell that game instead, I feel. But do you ever see that?
I think it depends on the game. Like so the difference if you look at the XCOM games is that they're also treading like they're tiptoeing into like this is what the world is like now. They're doing a little bit of world building at the same time. So it depends on where they want to go with the XCOM series because now like there's not much, the threat didn't seem as big, right? There's no
I think didn't
alien
XCOM,
invasion.
this is a spoiler for XCOM 2. Even though I haven't finished it, I've only seen the final cutscene. Actually, I won't say it because Briony is going through it. I think there's something at the end of XCOM 2 that hints at the next thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that is a good
DLC
way of like bringing, like having it standalone as well is something that works really. Because we were talking about this the other day with like demos, especially on platforms like Steam, don't work well because it tends to have like a directly negative effect on. I was reading a thread about this the other day. Actually, there was a guy who I can't remember. It's like it was a small developer. They released a game about 2 weeks ago. They released it, and they had a demo of the game a few months in advance, and it did incredibly well on wishlist. It got 30k wishlist something plus, but they sold on day one. They sold like I think it was some like 130 copies.
Yeah, I
or
read
it was
this.
nothing. Like they made nothing, and there's this thing about how like demos, although like that they inflate wish lists basically, and it's not a good like it's like the wish list quality is poor even though it looks high, and so like maybe things like Chimera Squads are good ways of doing something about like rather than being like let's make this game and put out a demo for it to build hype. Like if they, like Chris says, we test these mechanics in a smaller package that we can then kind of test the waters with without
Also,
it being a demo.
People are more honest when whether that's a good thing or not, when they've had to pay for something. If you give someone a free demo, they're just like, oh, okay. And then they don't normally give feedback about it unless they're really invested.
Yeah.
If as soon as someone gives money over, they feel like they're the only voice that needs to be heard.
They have
whatever
the
they
right.
say is 100% correct. But in a free demo, you're like, okay, that didn't cost me anything. I'll just
Yeah.
uninstall that, and I didn't like that.
And that is the basis
George,
of Pitch Please.
Yeah.
Is that me and Alex feel far too entitled. We've spent enough money on games that I think it's high time we pitch our own. We make what we want to play for once.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's where the just because you can eat doesn't mean you can cook comes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Just
can
because
cook.
You can cook doesn't mean you can cook either.
Doesn't mean I'll eat it.
What I made is
Exactly.
terrible.
It goes both ways.
You guys just came out with the game, right?
Well, no, that was Jesus Christ, I went to brunch club. I mean, I say these like grand ideas, and I made a food-based party game.
That's some pretty good puns in it.
It has some really good puns in it. I feel like that if that's where you went was the good part, Alex. I feel like that says all it needs to say about what you said.
No, man. No,
like,
I think
It's sold on a Switch. It's like with Steam's difficult with party games. Alex can tell you about this. Our refunds on Steam are all people going, I thought this had online multiplayer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
first,
something I think
the
is-
first word in the description in capital letters is
Party.
this is local co-op, because I knew
Yeah.
this would happen, and there is no mention of the word online in any of the tags, because Steam give you the tags that you can do. So if someone searched for online, we would appear. If we were online, if someone searched for local co-op only, we would appear because
but
hey,
think
guess
of
what?
all the
We're
people
local
that-
co-op only.
Think of all the people that bought the game and couldn't refund it because they didn't do it in time.
Yeah, those poor people.
That's true. That's why console is great. It's such a pain in the ass to refund a game. And also, honestly, reviews matter a lot on Steam because it's how the algorithm sends your game out.
Yeah.
We have hardly any. Hey, if anyone anyone watching owns Brunch Club and has played it on
Brunch
Steam,
Club, yeah.
please
Just leave a
review.
review, yeah.
I don't care what the review is. I do actually. It would be nice if it was.
That
Positive.
really helps you that much, though. Is the
it
leaving
does.
reviews puts you in the.
It hugely does.
It's a huge because Steam is entirely controlled by an algorithm. When we released the day we released, 44 games were released.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many of those were hentai?
I
40.
can't remember the
40.
I can't remember the-
39.
remember the stat. It was like 70% of the games that are on Steam have been released in the last 2 years or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Because they ever since Greenlight. So originally we got through Greenlight, which is the system where people who are interested have to vote to allow it onto the store, which I thought was great because you're like, these people like the idea. It's kind of like a wish list already because they're like, hey, I really like this. I might put this up when it comes to Steam. It also stops you from
But I
having,
think
like,
that
Nazi
is the
Titty
diff-
Sim come out the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I think that's the difference. Like, it's the same. Like, it's the same with movies, right? Like, people say
Fucking
they would
Tom.
want to watch, that they would want to watch certain kinds of movies, or they want to support like independent cinema or whatever. But the difference between thinking this movie would be great, why aren't you making it, to actually getting up, going to the cinema and paying for a ticket is vast. And like, I think it's the same with games. Like, people would be like, we really want to see this game, I will definitely buy it. And that's what a wish list is essentially.
Yeah.
Mm.
To actually forking out money for it is quite a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the other thing we found is so on Steam, local co-op doesn't do as well. Like, party games are quite a slow tail anyway, but especially on Steam, because not everyone has 2 controllers, and normally PC players are solemn creatures. Like, where you know,
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say not everyone has friends.
I know,
everyone
he's
has
right.
friends.
Yeah.
That was actually I think one of the first comments on our original trailer was, "If only I had friends."
Yeah.
But you can play it on. You can play
It was
on
you.
Wasn't that your comment?
Yeah.
How are local co-op games going now?
So local co-op games are in a weird place because they're sort of like plateaued because they're going up in places where families are having to try and entertain young children or whatever, and us being 3+. So we're 3+ in Europe, but we're age 12 in Russia for our
What?
violence.
What violence?
Your food-based violence?
Sniper in it.
We have a bomb in one of the levels.
Oh, there you go.
It's gun violence.
That's enough.
So in
12.
Russia and Brazil, we're rated 12, but in everywhere else in the world, we're for everyone, which is really weird because you'd think in those sort
What
of,
about 2-year-olds?
especially in Russia,
Yeah. You're not for
what about you,
2-year-olds.
They're like, drink vodka. Oh no, bomb. That was my Russian, and I apologize.
Wow.
It's like talking to Putin himself.
Yeah. But, and also they've gone down because people aren't having like parties. People aren't having like their mates round for an evening to play games and drink and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's kind of they've balanced out because of that.
Oh, okay.
But, it's a weird one.
I heard it's really hard to get a game multiplayer, net play, and all that stuff.
If
Like
you
to have
don't
it
design
online
it from the
multiplayer.
start, yeah. Like on Steam you can use remote play, so you can just go on Discord with your mates and then you beam over your view and it receives a virtual input back, so you can play our game 4-player with 4 different people. They can just join in.
Yeah.
And there's other things like Parsec which do it a lot better, but that's fine.
It seems like a very different skill set as well, right? Like just because you can design a game,
Doesn't mean you can
doesn't mean
cook.
that you're going to be able
Doesn't
to.
mean you can
Yeah,
cook.
doesn't mean you can cook.
So I
There's a
learned today.
reason- yeah, you have
Doesn't
to,
mean
you
you can eat the
plan
game.
it from the start, because
Well,
especially with ours is from the start you have to have that in mind that you want to do that, and because you need
Yeah.
to build everything around that, because everything
Well, that's
needs
why,
to
like, I
be
mean, with
tracked and networked.
Yeah.
like when we had Cave Blazers as the multiplayer, like that's just a mod, right?
That's just a mod, yeah.
Because I'm assuming that Will just didn't want to have to put the like it was just too much to put in. Oh my god, Tom just disappeared.
I'll
in the
just
cloud of
disappear in the
vape.
vape cloud.
That was,
Wow,
that was
impressive.
amazing.
He was
I
doing
mean,
it
it was
before
really
when
nice,
you were doing
It
your
was good, but
yeah.
so his arm.
He's gonna be back now.
He's
He's gonna be.
That's
What's up,
actually
motherfuckers?
Going back was better. On the way out, you mucked up a little bit.
coming
but-
back was honestly impressive.
Yeah, that's good.
When you were talking before, Alex, he was vaping into the camera, and that's all I was paying attention to. I missed like everything you were saying.
I don't even know what I was fucking saying.
Did any of you
Probably
vape besides Tom?
No.
Wait, what?
No. Yeah.
No.
And also, Tom
I'll see
vapes
it.
licorice. Is it no aniseed?
Yeah.
No,
Licorice
this
flavour.
is berry. This is berry today.
Berry.
Berry. Oh,
It's rad.
Treating yourself.
It'd be bad for the bunnies if you vape near them, I think.
I
guess
mean,
so, yeah.
We don't know yet, do we? Like, they don't know how bad it is for you.
Right?
In 10 years' time, we might find out, I guess.
When
I've been
Tom's
vaping for
missing his
ages, and
nose.
look how healthy I am.
Tom used to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Just did
Atrophied all of his muscle.
one log exhale and he just shrunk down to the very
All right, guys. All right.
That's part of his soul in the vape cloud.
Hey, going back to way
To something
earlier.
else.
Way earlier.
Literally way earlier. Tecmo Bowl,
Hmm.
right? Was that the one where you could beat the shit out of everyone else?
No, you're thinking
No, that
of...
was
NHL, right?
Was it Speedball?
No, it was
Oh.
NFL Blitz, which was a
Brutal
great
Deluxe?
game.
NFL
I was-
Deluxe. I don't.
NFL Blitz. That was the one where you could hit people late. There's also like NFL Street where you could fight with people and stuff
No,
like
it's
that.
not. It was like an Amiga game or something like that.
I know exactly which one you're thinking of. It's this because I've played the
What
shit
is
out
it?
of it.
Speedball 2. Oh my
Speedball
god.
2?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, it's
Just
not.
one of
It's
the games
also
that-
not this one. I do know this one.
Oh, this
It's
looks
not
great,
that
though.
one.
One?
No. So it was like a side-scrolling sort of American football game.
Side-scrolling football game.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be
kind of like
great.
Scroller.
kind of like the one we were talking about, Tecmo Bowl, right? Except you could beat the ever-loving shit out of people, and you could if they're down, you could stomp on them. I remember there were power-ups.
Yeah.
You could get like a hare that would speed you up, a turtle that would slow you down. But I cannot remember the
What?
Mutant League.
Was
Football.
it Mutant League? Yeah.
Mutant League Football.
You see,
Wait,
this,
it's on
Everyone
this,
trying
is,
to
Switch?
type in.
this is exactly how an episode
No.
of Pitch Please would go if
It's
we
not
had
that
an
one.
audience. You would say an idea, and they'd be like, that's this game," and you'd be like, "Oh well, let's move on
Go,
to the
next
next one."
We'll
Then.
It's
restart.
also not that one, and it's not. It's
Are you
not
thinking
Blitzball.
about Blood Bowl?
Blood Bowl? No, it's not that one. It was like it was. Fuck. Hang on. Carry on.
No, yeah, you keep looking that up.
No, you've fully derailed it now, Tom.
No,
What is it?
I think
I'm
that's
googling. Amiga football game where you can beat the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, there should be something like that
That's
too.
people.
Why is NFL Blitz like the last one they made of that?
Oh
This
my
is
god!
untapped.
Genuinely, the first thing that came up was the right one.
What was it?
I googled Amiga football game where you can beat the shit out of people, and hang on, I've got to scroll through a list. Brutal Sports Football, it was called.
Okay.
Brutal sports.
For some reason, that brings up pictures of Odell Beckham Jr. and the Browns for me. I'm not sure why that brought up something right for you.
Did
I remember this
he
one.
beat someone up?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh,
yeah, you could
Amiga.
like tear people's heads off, and I think you could score with their heads.
Wow.
They like dwarves.
Oh, why do I recognise that now? Why does you can score with their heads? Is the point where I remember
Multi-ball.
Duh.
Oh, it was awesome.
What was it
Hey,
called
look at all
again?
the blood.
Brutal Sports Football. it was
Brutal
called.
Sports Football.
I can see a swastika on that picture on your screen.
What-
Oops.
wasn't that one for it? Or maybe, maybe that was like my activation code when I was younger.
Yeah, something like this. A side-scrolling football game, but like completely tongue-in-cheek, and you just start bashing the crap out of each other and fighting down the field, I think.
Yeah, you can just whack people.
Untouched
Crazy.
product. What was that? Excite Bike? What was that one dirt bike rally where you could kick people off their bikes and hit them with chains? It was the
Oh,
old
was
NES
that
game.
Road Warrior
Redemption.
Or Road Rage
The-
Redemption.
one of, like,
Road
like,
Rage.
critically panned, awful video.
Yeah.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
just
Aw.
adding violence to sport. So like,
Road-
why don't
Road
we
You
just
figured
have
me out.
golf, but then they have to
Road
fence
Rash.
with their clubs at one point.
Wait, was this like a remake of Road Rash? Is that what Road Redemption is?
I think it
Road
was.
Redemption?
Yeah, Road Rash was the original where you just kick people.
That was the. Do you remember? What was the one that had the Ace of Spades as the theme tune? That was it was cars. It was Road Rash, but open world and cars. And
Oh.
it was just running around. It was just like driving over people. It was really like absolutely brutal.
I know exactly what you're
Um,
talking
Die
about.
Hard.
Carmageddon?
game.
Carmageddon.
Oh,
Was
Carmageddon.
it Carmageddon?
I don't think that had the
Yeah,
Ace of
it was
Spades.
Carmageddon. It was.
it?
It was. That was the first time I heard the Ace of. I think it was. Or maybe I'm thinking of Tony Hawk.
That's the first time I heard about the Queen.
Tony Hawk, of course.
Oh yeah, the
No.
crossover, Carmageddon and Tony Hawk.
It wasn't Ace of Spades. It was Aces High. That was it.
Aces
High,
High.
Iron Maiden. What a song. It's Carmageddon.
Carmageddon. I had like my parents didn't really care what games I played when I was younger. Like they didn't really
No.
care if I played brutal games or anything like that. However, for some reason, Carmageddon was the limit.
Yeah?
Because that was a game where you had to run over people to win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about how much
yeah.
destruction you could do.
And there was just blood spray all over the place. For some reason, that was their limit.
I
that was,
mean,
like, the
honestly,
worst
looking back at it now, awful.
Yeah, terrible game.
Just the worst.
I got ratted out by the Blockbuster employee when I tried to rent Conker's Bad Fur Day. My mom was about to rent it for me. He's like, this is meant for adults, right? That was the one game I couldn't play.
Oh, Alex, you've been well and truly well actually in the chat there.
What-
The
what's the one
soundtrack
actually?
from Carmageddon
was
was
all
all
Fear Factory.
So
Idiot.
no,
No,
You
wait,
did
can't.
hear
No,
Ace
High,
is high on it.
no. This is incorrect.
Go
Aces
fuck
High.
yourself, Alex.
Aces High. It was in Carmageddon, or maybe it was Carmageddon 2.
I'm
But
sorry, Lee Torres, if you weren't pushing your glasses against your brow at
actually.
the time.
Yeah, Carmageddon 2 it was in.
Briony,
Oh,
do you have any
Ace- I'm
games you
looking
were
at it now
banned
in the
from?
wiki.
Or sorry,
Ace-
Carmageddon 2, Carpocalypse Now. It was called.
Apocalypse Now, yeah.
That's my kind of pun, that is.
Did you have any banned games growing up, Briony?
No. No, we were. But I'm older than Tom, so games that were violent were just like one red pixel when I was growing up. I guess we had like BBC computer games.
You weren't allowed to play Russian roulette.
Math Blaster. Couldn't play Math Blaster.
Oh no,
going
we
to
were
go
allowed
outside
to
with
play
my
Russian
stick and
roulette.
hoop.
I was one of 6 when I was growing up, and look at.
Yeah, that's how. That's the numbers on Russian roulette.
All right, kids. Mao. Diddy Mao. You ever see Deer Hunter?
Deer Hunter, yeah. That's
Oh,
a classic.
such a classic.
Wait, what is this you've posted here? Aces High was also in Madden NFL 10.
No, I was just screenshotting the fact that it was in Carmageddon 2. Alright, I should have said 2.
All you've done
But it was in
is
the
prove
Carmageddon
chat
franchise.
right. You've posted it going, see, I was. Oh no, wait, no, I've just proved myself wrong.
Yeah.
No, I just didn't. I didn't get the full name of the game right.
Yeah, it was in Carmageddon. Like I
Two.
said.
That's what. Yeah, just like I said.
You know,
Man, I'm really remembering just like lots of these games from my childhood that I played that I had completely forgotten about.
yeah.
I really
Like,
want to go back and play them now.
Twisted
You ever
Metal
played,
Black. Remember
Twisted
that?
Metal.
Oh, Twisted
Oh, I
Metal
played
Black.
that with
Twisted Metal.
my school friends. That was great fun. You could go to the Eiffel. Which you could go on top of the Eiffel Tower. In one of them. Which one was that?
Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember, speaking of songs you heard for the first time, the first time I ever heard Painted Black was in Twisted Metal Black.
Mine was Guitar Hero 3. when I
Yeah.
heard that song for the first time.
Yeah, I think mine too.
Yeah.
Do you remember a game called Globduel?
What?
Globduel?
Globduel. I think that was another Amiga game that I played
How did you
when I
even
was
spell
super,
that?
super young. Glob.
Globduel.
Duel.
Is that one word or is that two words?
D-U-L-E.
Oh,
One word.
it's, do you remember the Psychnosis, that game developer?
Psychnosis. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They
whatever.
turned into. Wow, what did they become? They're still about, I think, in some form.
Sony Studio Liverpool.
There you go.
What was the
There you go.
most ancient game you can remember playing? What was like
The Hobbit.
the oldest game you can remember?
Mine was The Hobbit on the Commodore 64.
Hobbit con.
Chucky Egg for me.
It's Truckee Egg.
Yeah.
Probably Dizzy's. Maybe.
How do you
Dizzy's
spell that?
Commodore or was
Truckee
it the
Egg?
Spectrum?
Oh,
It might have been the
Chucky Egg.
Spectrum.
Chuckie Egg.
Chuckee
That was the
Egg.
first game I ever played.
Globduel came out in '93.
I remember
a year
Chuckee
after I was
Egg.
born.
That's the year I was born.
Oh no, Manic Miner will be the oldest game for me.
Manic
my mum
Miner.
introduced me to that. That was on the Commodore 64.
Yeah, you guys.
You
have
had to load
really
it for
old
about
games.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
1983.
The
Yeah,
Hobbit
It's
was
actually
Chucky
the
Egg.
only
too.
video game my mother was addicted to.
Are you all older than me?
No, I
Huh?
just.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
What?
Wait, no.
I think.
I thought you guys were like 25.
Chris is
26.
34.
Christ.
Yeah,
I'm 26.
you're
I just
26.
look older because I'm dead inside.
Briony and Alex, how old are you?
I'm 32.
I'm 34.
I'm 32 too. How
34
come
years
I don't
old.
remember this shit?
I mean, you couldn't
We're all
remember
called
my
Alex.
name either.
I forgot what I had for breakfast.
Oh, GTA London.
GTA
that.
London, yeah.
As a kid, I remember that I once asked my mum for a day off school to play GTA 4 when it came out. She was like, "Yeah, sure." And was
I
like,
got-
That's good. And
Wow.
then I went, "But you are going to have to go to Asda at midnight tonight to buy it for me." So she
I
had
got-
to queue up for an hour to get me a game that she then let me have the day off school off after.
What a mum.
It's great parenting.
I know, right?
GTA 4 I got because I had mumps. Right?
Right.
So I had
Win-win.
mumps for like 2 weeks, and then my parents were like, "Okay, we'll get you any game you want because you went through this like
Mm.
Holy
ordeal."
shit.
And GTA 4 was my game.
GTA.
That's how I got
That's you,
Legos growing up.
I remember playing the original GTA. That's the only one I've ever played.
Which one is the original? Was that London?
wait,
I always
you-
thought London was.
I think it was GTA
You've never
1.
played San Andreas?
No.
Got it.
Oh,
The original
I've got
had
it. I've got it in
incredible
the
music.
next room. Yeah.
Yeah,
did.
I
Great
used to
soundtrack.
literally just like steal cars and drive around in it just to listen to the radio.
I remember the Elvis squad.
Heyo!
Yeah, was it for the
That was just
SNES?
from the soundtrack.
What'd you say, Tom?
The Elvis squad. There was or maybe that was
Elvis
GTA 2. There was just a gang of people that were dressed like Elvis.
Elvis
And-
Squad.
Yeah, it would be like 6
Yeah.
or 7 people. Just I don't know if they were called the Elvis squad. They would they were just just
Yeah.
people dressed like Elvis, and you just ran them down. And they had like 3 lines of voice lines, and it was just. I don't know. And you could hear them from a
Apparently
mile
they're
away.
in San Andreas as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
there's some Elvises. There are some Elvises in San Andreas because it's on the strip bit.
Yeah.
I
You
never
go to,
played
like,
San
the
Andreas.
Vegasy bit.
Elvis
San Andreas
impersonator.
is fantastic. Like the radio stations in that. I
Oh.
would non-stop listen to K Rose, which was the country one. Like,
Yeah.
it had the best songs.
They have so many good songs. The chat programs where they're doing like the talk shows are great.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
Vice City was the soundtrack.
Oh,
for that
Vice
was-
City.
Vice City was gorgeous for like.
At the time. Now, if you look
Yeah.
at it,
That's why I really
played
want GTA
one.
6 to be Vice City.
Yeah, can you? But like, imagine like what the neon lights and all that are gonna.
Oh,
Oh,
What is
baby,
Vice
give me
City supposed to be? Because
Miami.
well, obviously you've
Miami.
got
Yeah.
Miami, okay. I never played Vice City or San. I played 1 and then I played 4.
Yeah, San Andreas is
was
like
that-
Los
you never played
Angeles. What do you say?
I played 5 as well, but nothing in
Oh,
between
okay.
that. I mean,
Right,
wait, so you never played 3
Tom.
or
You
No.
played 1.
no, I'm just surprised you didn't.
We
play
don't need to
GTA
fill in
3.
the gaps.
I'm just surprised you didn't play GTA 3. Like that's also. I
GTA
feel
3
like that was one of
fantastic.
the games that everyone played when it came
I then
out.
Was
bought
that
that on
PS1 or
PSP. 2.
yeah, I never owned a PS2. I got Xbox instead, and then I got Dreamcast instead. That's
Wait,
I had a
have you not-
Dreamcast.
Hang on, I just need to recap this real quick. I'm sure I've spoken to you about this before, but I need to know: have you played Final Fantasy X?
yes, no, I borrowed a PS.
This is the best
Oh,
Final
yeah, I remember.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Dreamcast
I'm
was
just looking at-
fantastic.
What?
I'm looking at old games on the the BBC, and there's one called Castle Quest that I'm
Castle
having
Quest.
such memories
Oh,
for. I
Was
remember
that
playing
like
this
the
for 30
cartoony
hours.
Castle Quest? Was that like the
Oh, Vice City
pre-rendered?
looks so good.
I say pre-rendered. Oh no, it's not. What
It
am I
I
thinking
don't
looks-
of?
remember this one.
You're thinking of
It was
with the knight dragon, the Dragon Quest man. I can't
Maybe that was
remember
called
what it's
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest.
I remember
I don't remember
this.
Castle Quest. I remember King's Quest. Remember King's Quest?
No, Dragon Quest is that. What is that game? How have I forgotten it as well? The one where you have to hit its QTEs constantly.
Yeah.
and you have to hit them
Yeah.
Right. It is
oh,
called. They play it in Stranger Things
So
all
well
the fucking
animated
time,
as well.
and I've completely. They're making a movie of that with Ryan Reynolds.
what?
Oh, they.
Got Ghosts
They
and
are.
Goblins?
Why?
No, the game Dragon's Lair.
Oh, Dragon's
Lair.
Lair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're making a movie with it
Oh,
with
cool.
Ryan Reynolds.
I love the box art for it. That guy's a classic meme. That guy.
But I think they're doing it where Ryan Reynolds' character would die constantly and then redo stuff.
Mm.
I think they're doing that kind of story.
Oh, so like Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, they should
Kind
do
of.
it so everyone in the screen has like a button and they can press left or right. And they,
Like,
you know,
uh,
make it a
Bandersnatch.
Netflix.
as you're watching it, like you're just deciding the action. So you are kind of relying on all the other fuckers in the room with you to also pick the same thing as
Do you know what? That
Yeah.
technology actually exists. Like I've
course it
seen.
does.
There's
The
this,
technology exists.
but
The
like,
technology-
there's a company that
We can rebuild it.
specialize.
The high tech. Who wants to be a millionaire when they press A, B, C, or D to vote?
No, I mean, like, there's a
Twitch
company
plays
that
who wants to be
specializes in making like films that are screened in the cinema to audiences who have a button to just to like decide on what happens next, and then it just takes, I guess, the average from that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel
it's
like
very
none of us have done that. Therefore, it is a non-profitable niche that
It's a terrible idea.
it's a
Yeah.
terrible idea.
it's like it's like playing Bandersnatch, right? But with like 50 people.
Yeah.
They would all pick
decide other things for you.
Someone
That's
would have to
not
troll
very
it.
good Anyway.
Yeah. Clue was another one that did it in a cool way, where it
Wow.
just had like 4 different endings, right?
But this is how it really happened.
Yeah.
Didn't they play them differently at the cinema as
Yeah,
well? You
different-
didn't know which one
different
you were going to get.
different endings or something like that. And there was like, I mean, the best one was I'm going to go
It's a good
home
way
and
to make
sleep with
money.
my wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had 4 different endings. So I just
I
love
don't
the
think
idea.
That
Watching
would
that,
fly
and then,
these days.
oh,
At,
I don't
at
care.
like 20 quid a ticket.
oh, that's
Oh,
true.
I need to go back and see the other 3 endings. Great.
Yeah.
I have to watch the entire film again.
That piss everybody. It would piss me off too. I want to see every ending all at once. I don't want to know.
I
That's
mean,
the-
that's
yeah.
what YouTube would be for now.
The current cut of it is that it literally, it does like the here's how it could have happened,
There was
where
a
it just
great-
shows all 4 endings.
The-
But that's still such a cool concept.
Yeah, The Onion did something
Yeah.
like that where they linked to a video that says you're high and everybody knows it, but when you linked it to your friends, it would say different things. Like it would be a different
What?
video
What?
playing. Yeah, like
What?
the girl would start off with like you're high and everyone knows it, and then she'd go into this monologue that's different for each time you linked it. I'm not sure how they set it up, but it was
the
like
hell?
awesome. Yeah, so
Could
it's
be
free.
based on IP.
Yeah, or
like,
something like that.
You
Yeah.
always get the same one based on your IP address.
Yeah, so it freaks people out. So they're like, "Why is yours different than mine, man?"
Have you ever seen that image that's like you're in a coma? If you can see this, like we're trying to get you out.
Yeah. Or
Every
like
now and then,
yeah,
like
yeah.
see that, and it's
Where
getting
you
me
think you're
every
pissing
time.
yourself.
you don't know if you're actually in a coma.
Am I in a
It's
coma?
just a
Oh, I
picture
pissed
that says,
myself. It's
"You're
fine,
pissing
I'm in a
yourself."
coma.
Stop it.
Wait, what is this image?
You're in a coma
I'll
and
see
you
if I
keep
can find
peeing
it.
yourself.
Yeah.
That's like
It's-
that.
If you could hear us, stop pissing your bed.
Stop.
It's a lot of
pissing.
work.
Is this
You are
this
watching this
thing?
stream right now. You're pissing.
What? I mean,
It gets
Oh,
me every time.
I feel like Tom, you could just write some text, right? Put it on a black screen, send it to Briony, and then you could convince her loads of stuff.
Follow the white rabbit.
God.
Alex is an
I
undercover
did.
spy. He has been for years. Get out while you still can.
I love these things like this.
Stop pissing yourself.
When you're like,
Start pissing yourself.
Stop
Joke's on
pissing
you,
yourself.
I'm pissing myself right now.
Me and
Joke's on you,
Alex
I
have been me and Alex have been wearing catheters for years in preparation.
That's your secret. You're
I'm
always
always pissing. Oh dear.
Oh.
pee.
Anyway, pitch please. Pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having a fun time with it.
New podcast idea.
What?
Piss, please.
Yes, please.
What were you-
All pissing games from now.
It's just a constant loop of one sentence saying, "You are not in a dream. Do not piss yourself."
So-
And it's just that.
Maybe we
gentle
should get a
reminder.
poster for the bathroom that just says "You're awake."
yeah.
Like one of those hang in there cats. It says,
Yeah.
"Don't piss." It's okay to piss
That
in
would
here.
work into my dreams, though. I would see that in my dream and then think it's okay
Oh,
and
God,
Yeah.
piss the bed.
Your dream
There was
will
one
add its
thing
own.
about dreams that they say that you don't. I don't know if this is true, but I don't think I ever have. Is that people say they don't have their mobile phones in their dreams?
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you never
I
have
don't
your.
think I've ever from dreams that I can remember. I don't think I've ever used a mobile phone.
No. I have like
I definitely-
reoccurring dreams too. I never can't remember one. Yeah.
I absolutely
you
do.
must
'Cause all of my dreams are always things I'm super anxious about,
Yeah.
right? And every time I get a text, I start fucking panicking because, like, then I've got like the responsibility of replying to this person. I
Yeah.
don't want to.
What, a
I have to think of a
Dream
fucking
about
answer.
it. Yeah.
It's a
I
whole.
don't
It's a
think
whole.
I've ever had my phone in my dream.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the giveaway. Is if I'm on the toilet, and I'm not using my phone. I mean,
That's
it's a dream.
You wake up. Ah.
I think the fact that one day you might be walking around your house going, "Where's my phone?" And you'll be like,
Shit.
I'm dreaming.
I'm
And
dreaming.
then Alex walks in. He's like, "Why have you pissed on the floor?"
That's
He's like,
your-
"This is just a dream." He's
That's
like, "Here's your phone."
Inception, like constant, like the spinning dreidel. Yours is a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Your phone.
Holy shit!
Oh, yeah.
Inception,
Yeah.
but with different layers of them pissing themselves the whole movie.
Yeah.
Pisception.
Perception.
Or your inception. For the intellectuals.
This one's for the brainiacs out there.
Takes a while, but you'll get it in the end.
Your kids will love it.
It's a Portman too.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
What was
Cool,
Do
everyone's?
you ever get the opposite where you're weeing in a dream?
I
and
thought
you
you
know
were-
that
you're
you're-
shitting yourself.
This goes back in.
But do you ever wee in a dream and then you have that feeling of like, oh god, am I weeing in real life now?
Yeah, I've actually had that. Like I get reoccurring nightmares of this really big house that I live in, and everyone's mean to me. I'm sure it means something. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you piss on them?
I was.
But
stabbed
I'll
in
be in
my
the
dream
bathroom
last night.
peeing, and I'll think about that. I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually.
Who stabbed you?
Okay, now this is really weird. I wasn't.
You were stabbed with
I don't.
bits.
I only remember the end because I woke
You had
up.
a dream
And,
where
like,
you're insulting countless in a big
I woke
house.
up. Do you know? Have you ever been like hit in a dream and you wake up in pain where that thing occurred? Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that?
No.
Yeah.
Right, so I've been hit in the head once in a dream, and I woke up with just a really bad pain where that.
Yeah.
Just
Had
really hurt.
someone,
I'd-
had someone
I think
trusted
someone
you and run
may have
away?
just come in. Yeah, just
Wake up, Chris.
and just runs away.
I had a dream where I
Um,
fell and no one could help me up, and then I actually fell off my bed in real life. I was really drunk.
But did someone help you up?
No,
Okay.
but that was the dream. I
No.
felt like I couldn't get up. It
Oh,
turned
right.
out it was true. I was just sleeping on my fucking elbow.
Yeah,
No,
so
go on.
I was stabbed, but for some reason, I think I'd watched. Oh, that was it. I remember what I was doing before bed now. That
You
not in a
holding
weird
biscuit?
way. No, it's a comb. Um, I was watching really tinfoil hat conspiracy theories because I was bored and it was 1 a.m. I don't believe them. I just enjoy watching them because I
Yeah.
enjoy seeing the facts and the experts that they bring on.
Yeah, it's creative, the
One of them I
ideas they
watched
come
had
up
the
with.
had the aliens guy listed as an expert,
Robbie
and it was
Williams.
about the Pope and like Masons and Illuminati and all that shit. But my dream is that I was a cardinal, right?
A bird or
I-
a... Okay.
No, I was like a man cardinal.
Manol.
Man cardinal. A cardinal. And I was stabbed, and it was you could see the blood coming through the white outfit, and I opened like the outfit up, and a red dove just flew out.
Oh my
And then-
gosh.
And I was in so much pain. I woke up and I was in a lot of pain. And I was like, oh, this is it.
I think a
Did you
dove
piss
got
yourself?
into you.
So I didn't piss myself. Have you ever dreamt you're being stabbed and realised that maybe I'm being stabbed in real life?
Woke up and someone's-
Right.
Pull
it's
up the
time for-
sheets and
it's
someone stabbing you.
Dream analysis stream now. Okay.
Okay, dream analysis. Very specific stab.
They're a
religion,
generator. You've
dove.
got like a...
Dictionary. Okay, so I'm going to press C for cardinal.
Okay.
Let's see if anything comes up for cardinal.
What is this? Dream analysis?
Cannonball, cap and gown, capital punishment, car alarm, car battery, caramel.
maybe like religious
That's
figure.
close enough.
Cardinal!
Religious
Oh my
Oh.
god, cardinal! It's
Cardinal's
actually on
there?
here. To see a cardinal in your dream represents vitality and happiness. It also may
No.
mean being
That
in
would be the
first
bird.
or your position at the front.
No, that's
I'm
not the
just-
Surely
bird.
that means
That's
the bird,
no. That
not the
means
person.
that means the person.
It says
Unmovable.
cardinal.
Yeah. You see the cardinal of the papal states, and it fills you with inspiration
Okay,
and
now
happiness.
do a search for blood-ridden dove.
Blood
Blood dove.
Dove.
I think that was a band I was in when I was 16.
Release the blood doves.
Oh, and stabbings.
Oh, hey, sorry. They've had to temporarily disable the
Oh,
Dream
shit,
Dictionary
that is a
website
good
'cause
idea
they're doing
for an
it on-
all-girl
That's where I was,
band.
yeah.
So no more dream analysis, guys. Sorry, stream's over.
They've taken down the website.
Oh well.
Oh, hang on. Found another website. Keep going.
Everyone's dreams are just too freaky.
Oops.
You reminded me of I had this holiday, like a family holiday, where we all stayed in a caravan, and the beds in my room were like the mattress was too big for the bed it was on. So literally every day I woke up and I was having a dream where I was falling down various things, and it was always because I'd rolled onto
Yeah.
the mattress side that
Oh.
had no bed underneath it, and I fell out of the bed every single day.
Nice.
Was
And I'd
was
wake
this,
up just like a foot away from the floor.
Hanging
was
off
this
it.
dove mating?
Mating?
Yeah.
No, it emerged from my gaping wound.
Okay.
That's like
Now,
what
was
mating
it
is.
Was it making a lonely, mournful voice?
No,
Okay.
it was making dove-based noises. Like,
Hey, did it
covered
seem
in blood.
exhausted? Did it seem exhausted?
And it flew off.
So it
I
had
mean,
energy.
It had
It had a
energy.
little bit of spunk.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it means then.
Go. That's.
What would happen? What would happen if it was exhausted?
Imagine if you're his psychiatrist in that moment. Yeah, I got shit.
I don't know.
You didn't fill any of the
Oh,
check
you-
marks here.
Maybe they are just random synapses firing off.
If the dove seems exhausted, a note of sadness will pervade the reconciliation, or a sad touch may be given the pleasant tidings by mention of an invalid friend, if of business.
Are we dreaming right now?
Pee yourself quick.
Wake
I'm
up,
reading
Tom.
this word for word. Other than that, stumble. A slight drop may follow. If the letter bears the message that you are doomed, it foretells that a death or illness, either your own or of a relative, may cause your financial misfortune.
There you
Uh,
go.
Hang
Or
on,
you
I'm gonna
ate
need-
a lot of salty food before
That's
bed.
true. I didn't have my phone.
I'm now googling dream analysis to try and figure out what the fuck that means.
Everyone in chat, check for a phone.
I had a dream the other day that I had to give Barry eye drops, and he would not hold his eye open, and it was really annoying. What does that mean?
That means Barry's hard to work with. Barry's great.
Maybe it means that he has.
What?
That was a nice save there.
It's great. He treats me great. I'm not sure if he retweeted this, that we were doing this or not, like he said he would, but
Maybe it means that you deep down know that he has very good eyesight. That's it.
He doesn't need them.
So he doesn't need them, yeah.
this
Yeah.
Harry's out there somewhere right now with dry eyes, just waiting for someone to help him.
He's playing Pokemon with the driest eyes right now.
It's like in Clockwork Orange, where they have him in front of the thing with his eyes open, just playing Pokemon.
Holy shit.
What was everyone's
There you go.
favorite Final Fantasy in general?
I don't like Final Fantasy games.
I thought that was more dramatic.
Yeah, was that still going?
It was the inflection.
Everyone's favorite Final Fantasy.
The end.
Was that the
Man,
end?
that came out of nowhere. I feel like we was. I didn't.
That's the problem.
My Final Fantasy is that I'm pissing, but I'm actually.
I can pee wherever I want, whenever I want.
Seven's got to be the for anyone who was there like to play it as the first Final Fantasy when they were kids. Seven has to be like
Ah.
the greatest
Like
one,
I
right?
was.
Even though it's not necessarily the best game, but
Old.
there was
I
nothing
haven't
like.
played any. Well, I haven't liked any Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X was my one. That was like the
Oh,
first
yeah, I
one
love
played,
Final
so-
Fantasy X.
10's great.
What's it about
Is
Final
that the
Fantasy you don't
one-
like? What's the?
I just never go into it.
Yeah.
Like I just don't care about anything that's happening.
Yeah.
I don't see the
Don't care
mechanics.
about
I just
anything.
honestly, I'm just like I'm not invested in anything that's going on.
That happens. But Final Fantasy X was the one that caught me. I wasn't invested in Final Fantasy 7 or 8 or 9. I skipped past everything. But I want to know what happened to Yuna.
I never played Final Fantasy VII until like last month because of the remake. So I played the remake first before I played the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And holy shit, it is a good game. I mean, I didn't realize how dated it is. Like the people in the game just call each other like retards and
Yep.
stuff like that. Crazy.
I mean, it's 23 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, did they change that for the new one? Have they...
No, they kept it in.
No, they made it worse. If anything.
The main character's
They've
love
added-
interest
they've
is
added
called
racism.
retard.
Down, yeah.
Yeah,
They modernized it.
What are you, retarded, Sephiroth? After he kills Aerith.
Oh my god.
I don't think I was ever invested in the stories in Final Fantasy. Like, other than when I was so young in Final Fantasy VII, I didn't
Oh,
really.
come on. You didn't care about
understand.
Waka. Hey, what? You want to play Blitzball, eh? Waka.
What accent is that?
That was Waka's
I thought
accent.
Chris,
You want to play
I thought Chris
Blitzball?
was eating his comb. I was really confused.
Mix it up, biscuit cone.
I had a cucumber and elderflower Tom Collins, and now I'm just eating the gin soaked
Tom.
cucumber.
Oh, the cucumber.
Yummy.
What's everyone's favorite drink? You got it?
I feel like you've got a list. You've got a list on your desk that
So-
says questions for boring interviews. This is the last. You're crossing them all out frantically.
You got an hour and a half left.
Getting pretty...
That's the
I've
hardest
had to
part.
cross
Right,
off all
right
my
in your
pissing
brow.
questions.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
I should have warned you about that. There was So the first time we did this, I had Boof on, right? We ran out of things to possibly talk about the Yogscast 35 minutes in, and then we still had like 25. And then I did it again with Spiff and Alex the Rambler, and now I'll do it again with you guys. I'm gonna do it again after this. We still have an hour and a half to fill, so get used to it. What's your favorite drink, Alex?
Which one?
Me, my favorite drink ever was the original Mountain Dew that they had
Yes.
in 97, 98 in the UK, around the time when Hollyoaks first came out.
What?
It was
On a
it
Wednesday.
was a warm summer.
Just that one.
Um,
I
You know what?
I remember just chugging 2-litre bottles of that and watching Hollyoaks.
I feel like this is like an
It was-
Alan Bennett story now. I remember
But then
Hollyoaks was on TV.
they took it. They took it off the shelves for some reason.
It was,
and
it was because of the sugar content.
I never got to drink it for another probably 20 years, and then they've brought it back in this country now, but it's rebranded and it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
no,
I don't
Alex,
think-
it's the sugar. We
Yeah.
have the British versions of it have either less sugar or the sugar replacement. That's why
Stevia.
American drinks are so
Not even.
sugary.
So
Man.
because in America we have American Coke, which is fine, but it's made with corn
Oh,
syrup. The Coke that we
Mexican
all
Coke.
want is Mexican Coke. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Real
the good
sugar
shit.
in the glass bottle.
Oh, Tom, you look so
Real
confused.
sugar.
but-
It's actual Coke.
It's actual
Yeah,
pure
it's actual
cocaine.
Coke.
You take it out of the bottle, you rub it on your teeth.
It's so good. Mexican Coke is great.
Yeah,
I
I want
like,
Mexican Mountain Dew.
My favorite drink, if we're talking soft drinks, is Fanta Naranja, which is the orange Fanta, but it's like neon orange.
It's like
I think
Iron Brew, but
It's the only time I've had it was in Costa Rica. Oh, it's so good.
yeah,
Coca-Cola.
I'm telling you,
Oh.
Nuka-Cola.
So good.
Mr.
I'm,
Pibb.
I'm assuming Naranja is
Pib!
just
Mr. fucking Pib!
orange.
Nothing like coming in from yard work and cracking open an ice cold Mr. Pibb.
What is it? What is Mr. Pib?
Sitting-
We thought it was a joke drink when we
Sitting
first
No.
down with your Mr.
What is
Pibb
it?
and Fresca.
Contextually, Mr. Pibb is like an inside joke. I say it's an inside joke. It was from a stream Briony did on Sea of Thieves. But
About a
no
year
one
ago.
watched it, right? So like, no one knows.
It was-
it's Mr.
It might
Pibb.
as well be a secret.
when I first started streaming, pretty much, I guess. So it's
Yeah.
just us three and
What
my
is it? What
mum
does it
who had
taste
it
like?
on
Is it,
mute.
just, is it like Coke?
It's like, yeah, it tastes like Dr. Pepper, but sweeter, I would describe it.
Oh.
But it's been so long since I've had Mr. Pibb, because the people who try... What you don't know is like Mr. Pibb's like Fresca. The people who drink that are 55 years old, working as a librarian, watching Lifetime movies. Like,
Mr. Pibb.
Is
Yeah.
there right? So are there adverts where it shows Mr. Pibb? You know, like Ronald McDonald.
the Mr.
Is-
Pibb.
Is there a Mr. Pibb?
I
Who
feel like
is
this
Mr.
like a
Pibb?
euphemism.
Unmasked.
He's-
Pibb,
hey,
unmasked.
guess what? Later, if you're lucky enough, I'll come back to mine. I'll show you my Mr. Pibb.
This is
Like-
Mr. This is
Behind
Mr.
bars.
Pibb right here.
Oh, Mr.
young.
Pibb. between the
No,
sheets.
Mr. Pibb, I feel
Mr.
like is
Pibb was.
a
Isn't
very
this?
gaunt gentleman
Yes.
with a cane who
Yep.
you see looking at you through your window at night.
That's
At night,
him.
he's like
Like,
pale.
Mr. Pibb.
Who's the peanut guy?
Oh,
What's,
it's I think it's Mr.
Mr.
Peanut.
Peanut.
yeah, that would make sense. To be honest.
Yeah. Mr. Peanuts, but
branding.
human form. No,
Yeah, but he died,
Yeah,
right?
look, it's Mr. Pibb.
yeah, he died. Baby
Mr.
nut.
Peanut died.
He died, and now
Yeah.
there's a baby
He's
peanut.
dead.
Baby nut, they
What?
call it.
Chris, it's not real. Chris,
Well,
that's
and
a,
he has to
that's
grow
a
up without
graphic.
a father.
Someone's drawn that.
No, Alex.
That's not a real person.
No, they threw the guy off who was wearing the suit. They just threw him off a cliff,
That's visual
and they took his son and put him into another suit.
Was that one of the
effects.
adverts?
What? They took his son,
Someone
threw him off a
Mr.
cliff
Peanut.
as well.
That is a genuine, like, weird. Like, I think it's the whole Baby Yoda hype. They were like, you know what we need? We need a brand. refresh.
Babies.
What's hot right now?
Babies.
Weird babies. How
They
about
had
we
an
just
advert.
take the peanut and make it a baby?
I mean, they
Is
had
that a real
the
slogan for Mr.
Yeah.
But it
Pibb?
is called,
In
it is
your
called
head.
Baby Nut.
yeah, it's called hashtag Baby Nut. It's the that was their big they thought hashtag Baby Nut was funny, so
Baby
that's
Nut
what
sounds
they drove.
horrible.
I know. They thought it was funny.
Jesus. That's-
There's
Put
no
some
good
Baby
way
Nuts
you.
in your mouth.
Put it in your head.
Doubters
Put it
just
in your head.
frantically crossing off what's your favourite drink now. It
Fuck.
went wrong.
Stop asking.
He's had to go 3 topics down and cross off Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, no, my Boof Raiders. Mr.
There was a
Peanut.
whole extra topic about Mr. Pibb. It's gone. We came up
All
already.
The question was, do you remember Mr. Pibb?
What do you think? And then the next one was, what do you think about Mr. Pibb? So, do you like?
Is he a
I
Republican?
like Mr. Pibb.
Probably.
Do you like Mr. Pibb?
You're not
A
interested in that?
Republican.
Like,
Anyway, this stream is
Mr. Pibb
sponsored
showed
by
up in
Mr.
your
Pibb.
dream sitting on your chest.
I never understood.
Is Mr. Pibb not paralysis?
The sleep paralysis demon, Mr. Pibb, peeing on your chest.
I knew I wasn't
Interpret
really
that dream.
pissing when I saw Mr. Pibb.
It's okay. He was pissing.
You wake up and you see Mr. Pibb and you're like, it's just a dream, and then you hold up your phone.
Your phone starts ringing and you look down and it just says Pibb.
That's the slogan for the drink. Mr. Pibb, it's just a dream.
It's just a dream.
Just go to sleep.
You get a call the next day. It says Mr. Pibb on
Mr.
it.
Pibb. Shh.
Who is this? It's just a dream. Hangs up.
Oh,
You look down and you peed yourself, and you go, "Oh fuck."
crap.
You've been pibbed.
Oh my god. Sorry, Booth Raiders.
Hello.
The worst part about that is that they joined when we were all laughing hysterically at a joke we made 5 minutes earlier.
Oh. Woo!
Oh.
Catching the
Oh,
VOD
my
for the
glass is
whole
steamed up.
Mr. Take it easy, Booth. Thanks for the raid. Woo! Yeah.
What was it?
Now the question is, do you know Mr. Pibb is following you now? This is like what do they call it? This is like the Ring. You accidentally mentioned his name, and now, or the Bye Bye Man. You said his name. Now he's
Come out of the
following you.
can.
Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb.
Candyman. You say his name 5 times. He just walks by in the background behind one of our webcams.
Who is that gaunt man behind you? Watch out, Chris.
Why is he pissing? Oh, it's fine.
Says
Oh,
a
no,
dream.
That's just Tom. He's vaping again.
Tom's dreaming again. Yes.
What? I mean, like, you ever watch an interview and they got someone on, like they got Michael Jordan on, and they're asking him all basketball questions. Don't you want to know about Mr. Pibb from Michael Jordan? Isn't that a
These are
better
the- these are
question?
the right questions.
I'm saying. I take my interview style off of a dartboard. That's my mentor.
Hey, throw another one.
Whack. What was the first time you ever break a bone? Huh? Any of you?
I've never broken a bone.
Not
You
even
ever seen a
one?
grown man naked?
Oh, that's a lie.
You ever been to a Turkish bath before?
You ever seen a dead body?
Would
I've
you?
seen a man eat his own head.
Wait, hang on, I have to find this. This is. I've just realised what this interview is.
Fever dream?
It's a Mr. Pibb induced fever dream.
It's this. Right, Daltos, you need to watch this on stream with
Alright.
with Zoom.
Oh my god, yeah.
God.
This is what this stream is.
Ever gone mountain biking?
Oh.
What do you want to be when you grow up? What's the right tip?
Jonathan Frakes.
Called a plumber to your home lately? How much money would it take to make you spend a night in the cemetery? Would you display this as a trophy? You have a pet?
Okay, hang on. We're going through all this. We're going through every single one of these questions.
Go to the start.
Have you ever
This should
walked
be
out
the
of a
stream
mall
name,
into a
Dalpas
huge
asked you
parking
for
area
this.
and
I've
realized
seen this
you'd
before, but it
forgotten
had
where
the
you parked your
caption,
car?
what it's like
Okay.
having a 2-year-old.
Have any of you ever walked out of a parking lot before and not realized where you left your car?
No, I don't have a
no.
car.
I don't have a
I
car.
drive.
No? I have. I have a car. Okay, next question.
Or
You
do
didn't
you?
answer the question.
Did you ever go mountain biking?
Yes.
Yeah, not up a mountain, but I was on a mountain bike.
I've been cycling before.
None of that counts. You have to go
I've
up a
seen a
mountain.
I have feet.
I've once seen 2 wheels.
I've seen one
know what
wheel,
a whe- I know
and
what
I
a
can
wheel is.
imagine 2.
I chopped my car in half and used that.
With a chair in between.
Okay,
Alright.
what's the next question?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
When we grow
When,
up.
yeah, okay. So when you were a little kid, what did you want to be
gonna
when
be
you grow up,
depressing.
Tom? What was your dream growing up when you were a little kid?
So at school, we had this thing where we had to write down what everyone wanted to be when they grew up, and then we sort of hand it in. You didn't put your name on it.
I did
and
that
then
too.
they draw the thing. The teacher would draw each one and then say like, "Oh, astronaut, who wanted this one?" And then everyone had to guess who it was.
Okay.
And I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't for some reason I just never had that thought when I was younger of like what do I want to be when I grow up. So I wrote helicopter pilot.
Sure.
I thought you were just gonna say helicopter.
I'm a helicopter.
I wanna be a helicopter.
Runs around again.
Yeah, and the teacher said, "Oh, who wants to be a helicopter?" And then I dropped my trousers and started really going. Everyone's like, "Yeah, it's that guy. That guy wants to be a helicopter."
It's all helicopter dick. Of course he wants to be a helicopter.
So when I was younger, apparently helicopter pilot was the first thing I thought of.
There you go. It was your gut feeling. What about you, Briony?
I once found a very detailed essay that I wrote as a child, because I've always been cool. Listing how I wanted to be a vet. I was gonna marry a vet, and I was gonna have 2 dogs, and I had their like breeds and their names picked out and all of this stuff. So I
She
guess
sounds
I
like
wanted to be a
a very
vet.
lucky lady.
Yeah. You'd be drinking
you're
Mr.
saying-
Pibbs and Frescoes with your wife. Yeah.
What you're saying is your dream didn't come true.
Well, she's
Well,
got
I forgot
bunnies.
until I found the essay. I forgot that that's what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
When I was little, this is a depressing story. I'm very sorry. When I was little and I wanted to be a vet, I used to watch all the like shows about being vets, including that one with the questionable Australian fella that we don't talk about anymore. And I saw this vet show.
Steve
Rolf
Irwin?
Mr. Pibb?
Mr. Pibb.
Um,
He's got an
saw
Australian
the
accent.
Mr. Pibb.
where they had to shoot a sheep, and I said to myself, I was only like 9 at the time, and I was like, I never want to have to hold a gun, so I'm not going to be a vet. And that was my logic for why I never became a vet. 'cause
That's
I
how they
didn't
do
want
it.
to shoot things.
Someone brings their cat to be put down. It's all right.
Frontline
Yeah.
infantry.
What about you, Chris?
was,
What do you want to be?
Originally I wanted to be a forensic scientist because I used to love watching CSI Miami as a young kid, and then I discovered the game Pokemon Blue.
You're a
Oh.
Squirtle.
To be a
I got that.
Pokemon?
I got Pokemon Blue very late,
Yeah. We're gonna
Oh,
talk
I
about it in
loved
a
it.
second.
And I
Don't
was
make
like-
me go down my
and
list.
now I want to make video games because I found out that people can get paid for this shit.
Yeah. You get paid
So
for
can you
it.
imagine a tiny Chris?
After all those years of dreaming, I made a game about toast. And eggs.
Forensic
Imagine a
scientist.
tiny Chris with little sunglasses, just saying puns to his mum and putting them on. Actually, mummy, I want cocoa.
Pops.
Yeah.
That was Lewis.
Just run out the room.
What about you,
Oh,
Alex?
My mum bought me a.
Oh,
sorry,
never
my
mind.
mum. I have to tell you this because it's hilarious.
Okay.
I think it probably is.
That is always a good way to introduce a joke you're about to say.
Might or
Is
may
that
not
my
be.
Mum, my mum bought me a fingerprint dusting kit.
no one laugh.
It was a toy that you could actually buy, and I had it, and I pretty much I basically used it down to its like last bit of dust, lifting fingerprints in my house, and then about a week after I'd run out of everything, I asked her to like if I could get refills.
Someone
and
was
stuff.
murdered and you'd
And
wasted
it-
it.
No, it had all it had all been recalled.
Damn
because
it.
just contained shit tons of asbestos, and I'd been in like basically just throughout just inhaling shit tons of fingerprint dust.
Time to lick
Professional
up all the
fingerprint
dust.
dusting.
I thought you were going to say that
Hilarious.
she just gave you like a bacterial wipe, and she just tricked you into cleaning the house.
That's actually genius. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Now, son, imagine you've done a murder and you have to clean up after it.
Yeah.
Why are you so good at this?
I taught my sister about rag races. It's where you tell because she's got 2 little kids. You put a rag on the ground with cleaner on it, and you make them sit on it and scoot their butt around. And whoever gets around the kitchen like 5 times wins.
Holy
They
It
have
tricks the
the
kids.
thing for like baby outfit, which is just a big cloth thing, and they can just roll around and they dust
Yeah.
as they go.
But I feel like exposing your children to dirt and dust is a bad thing.
No,
I
it's
mean-
good for them. It builds their immune
Immune system up.
Stick them in the mud. Help them grow.
Throw him down a cliff or something. Just
Give them asbestos like Chris's mum did.
How are we going to remove all this asbestos?
Stronger.
Oh, I got my kid right here covered in this asbestos removal onesie. Get him on up there. He'll whirl around.
he's immune now.
Speaking of kids who are inhaling too many chemicals, Alex, what was your favorite?
I pretty much always wanted to be a writer. Apart from a brief period where I watched Jurassic Park and wanted to be a paleontologist.
Dinosaur.
You want to be,
Dinosaur.
be a dinosaur.
I think also I told a lot of people that when I was a kid, also because I think it was a long word, and so it sounded quite good. Tell
Oh,
people.
no, that reminds me, actually. I remembered saying to my sister that I wanted to be an Arthur, and it was an artist author.
What?
I thought you meant an aardvark.
For some reason, I was like, I can't write for shit.
Artist.
Can't do art. And they was saying I wanted to be an Arthur.
Yeah.
I think I just liked the pun.
Artist.
Oh.
Professional Arthur.
Have you ever written ever, Alex? Do you write at all?
Yeah, I write quite a lot.
Yeah.
Signs his name on things.
Yeah,
He's
I write my name a lot. That's all I can. Yeah, I write for lots of
That's not
different
my name.
different things, but
Mr. Pip.
nothing.
Just a million Mr. Pibbs written down. Like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Mr. Alex Pip.
Turn the camera around and that's written on all the walls.
I wanted to be Mr. Pibb when I grow up. I had that down.
Be Dr. Pepper. Get a doctorate. You know.
Shoot
But
a little
then you get
higher than Mr. I wanted to be an architect growing up because I liked Garfield, and John Arbuckle was an architect.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't
See?
Yeah, that was his job. Or was it? I don't even know. Maybe it was. Maybe not.
I like Garfield too, and I wanted to be a lasagna.
I wanted to be delicious sheets of pasta.
Okay, so.
Oh, next
Wait,
question.
what was,
Next
that,
question.
what was that question?
That was what do you
What
want
do
to
you
be
want
when
to
you
be
grow
when
up?
you grow up?
What do you want to be? When
Yeah,
you
we're on
grow
8
up?
seconds in and 48 seconds.
What's the right
Okay.
tip?
What's the right tip? What do you think is the right amount to tip? I know you guys are British.
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
right.
Oh, fuck's sake.
You're talking to a waiter too.
Right, what's the right
I
tip?
normally do if I think the service was good, I just do 20%.
Okay, that's good.
No.
Yeah.
If I think the waiter deserves it, Briony, I give them 20, and then if they're really good, 25.
Wait, hang on. Are you talking? You pay them the regular amount, and you're not talking about just the tip, are you?
Just the tip is 20% of the full amount.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If it's good service.
If it's good service, they get 20 at least. Depends how generous I'm feeling.
But 20% of a small amount of money.
So like,
It's already a small amount of money, and you're only giving 20% of the tip.
There was a time when Alex and I we were out.
I
And
love it.
I don't want to hear the rest of the story.
there's you know when they give you the like the card machine.
It's just the tip.
They give you the card machine. I didn't realize
now
that
cough.
the numbers would like how the numbers moved across. And I went to give a tip of £2.50. It was just a little thing. I was like, £2.50, that'll cover it. That was like 20% or whatever. And I didn't press it enough times, so I tipped $25.
And then handed it back to them.
And Alex is like, that's more insulting than if you had just not
20
tipped at all.
You left 25 cents and gave
This
it.
is what you're worth to me.
That was the most insulting tip I ever got. A guy signed 2 pennies. He wrote in 2 pennies and signed his name. Just on like a $98
Wow.
check. Yeah. Got me.
Wait, was
hard.
it Simon? Was it Simon PP?
PP.
It's different. It's different over here. Like in America, like the tipping, like.
Wasn't it because you
services-
don't pay people properly?
I don't like the correct amount of tip for
Yeah.
me here is 0.
Zero.
I don't
Nothing.
like tipping.
Okay.
But when I go to America, like I mean that's just like
It's just cash.
Fucking-
Oh,
Right.
Tom, make it rain, Hazel.
$4.
the American cultural custom, right? You kind of have to.
Yeah, there's a whole
Um,
bunch of reasons into it that people don't understand the full reason. If I were to go into why we tip in America, it'd probably take the next 15 minutes.
But
The-
isn't
the
it
one
because
thing
you
I don't
don't?
get
Do
is
you not
tipping
have
for beer.
minimum wage?
No, I get paid $2.23 an
So-
hour as a waiter.
So you make up the most, like what would be considered a normal wage here in tips.
Yeah. So, okay, so think of it this way. America's a giant place, right? And one of the easiest things to open up, and we're a consumer-based society. We got, I think 70% of all jobs in America are consumer-based. One of the easiest things to open up consumer-based is restaurants, right? And with so many restaurants everywhere, there's so much competition from seasonal, like you're not going to go down to the beach. And when you do go down to the beach, like during the summer, there's like 15 seafood restaurants open, all competing against each other. And like 90% of all restaurants fail in the first year, right? They would fail even faster over here if we paid people $15 an hour. Because what happens if you're slow? Then you have less jobs, right? Because you're not going to have everybody on. And if you have less jobs, that means less people on staff when you actually get busy. So that's a problem too. And then all these people who restaurants employ, like I always say there's 5 types of people who work in a restaurant: drug addicts, single moms, college students, immigrants, and losers. And like without those 5 people have trouble finding normal jobs every day. So you need those jobs. I could keep going
You
into
put
it.
yourself in there.
I'm a drug addict loser. I'm 2 categories.
Oh, you're a twofer.
It's a twofer.
Twofer.
I'm not a single mom.
Double the pay.
What did you say?
Does that mean you should get double the pay?
No.
You're doing twice the work.
I'm both smoking outside, back where they deliver the food, and eating
Walking
food
with a
inside.
pillow on your stomach, and you're like, I'm pregnant too.
Look at this. Sir, we're pregnant. Man, you make good tips if you're pregnant while serving, let me tell you. People just drop
Well,
cash,
Well,
yeah.
You're missing a trick there. You just to go in with like a pillow up there.
Up there.
And you're done. How
I
many
guess that
months
means
are you?
like service is probably generally a lot better on
Yeah.
average in America than
Oh
it is
yeah,
everywhere.
way better.
Yeah, because I always say if the service is great, tip them 20%. If the service is bad, don't tip them 20%, because then they don't learn. There's a lot of bad waiters out there, but there's a lot of good waiters that
Very
are.
long catchphrase.
I say it to everybody.
He's got that on a t-shirt.
my,
Very specific as well.
my friend lost her parents the other day, and I said, Tiffany.
It's not much.
I
In
think
XXL.
you should stick to Yogs and try
I'm
and
running
get
for
some
mayor.
merch
This is
made.
my slogan.
I'm sure they'll do a limited run of posters. Just that,
That should be the Daltos merch.
Long. I forgot what I even said already. It was 13 seconds ago.
It's your catchphrase.
I know.
I love the way you went.
That should
I
be-
always say. Hang on, I forgot.
What did I always say?
What is it?
I
What
was
was it?
say what? What?
Always tip
Fuck.
20%.
Always tip
Unless they're not very good, in
Good.
which case I tip them 0. There's
No.
not very many good. Some good
Oh,
ones.
wait,
They're
out there.
just
Some bad
out
ones.
there. And then they say, I've.
So wait, the full T-shirt is, as I always say.
Says-
Wait, I've forgotten what I said. What did I say? Always tip them 20% unless they don't do a good job, and then don't tip them 20%. Otherwise, they won't learn.
They won't
No,
learn.
there's
Because there's a lot of
there's
good waiters out there.
there,
Is that right?
but there's some bad ones. And then underneath that, Daltos 2020.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look, question mark, because he's always said it.
I say it a lot.
Does he say it?
I throw it out there. Whether people pick it up or not is up to them. Next question. Hang on, I lost that.
You called a plumber to your home lately?
Have you ever called a plumber to your home lately?
Have you ever lately?
Yeah. Have you ever lately called a plumber?
Have you ever?
Have you ever in your life
Called a
called
plumber to
someone
your
to
home?
the last 5 minutes?
Alex, that around the twist version. But we
That was around the twist, yeah.
Nice.
Round for twist, sorry.
You ever clog a toilet, clog a sink? Never?
Excuse me?
What?
When we were in college, we poured Gorilla Glue down the sinks of the bathroom just to see what would happen, and it turns out it ruins all the piping.
Turns out.
If Arizona State's watching right now, I'm not paying.
Ever thrown acid at your house?
You guys ever do an acid
to see
attack?
what would happen. We've had
Have you ever
Plumber.
egged your own car? Like it's just like.
we had someone fix something to do with our plumbing, but he wasn't a plumber and he was round to do something else, and he just took a crack at it and it worked.
What?
Tiny, how did the story end? I'm asking
I'm
you
pregnant.
specifically. Okay.
I had to do some plumbing. I had to do some plumbing the other week.
Yeah?
yeah.
See, you thought this was a bad question. There's a whole ample opportunity
Before the
here.
end.
I had
You
to.
fit in a garden tap. And
One
all,
more
it was
hour
really
to go.
Well, hang on. If we've got an hour to fill, let me tell you my plumbing story.
Do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let me
Get
sit
ready
back.
for this. So,
Sit back, grab a drink.
went to wash my hands. Turned on the warm water because I like it a bit warm.
Yeah.
Maybe tepid.
Me too.
Cold, freezing cold.
What the fuck?
Waiting for the boiler to kick in. No noise, nothing. You know, sometimes if you turn the hot water tap on, there'll be a little pause, and then suddenly you'll hear the boiler turn on. Nothing. So
Unbelievable.
looked at the went to the boiler, looked at the boiler, and the pressure was right. Okay, our boiler there's a little meter, and it reads from 1 to 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's between 1 and 2, that's good. If it's over 2, bad. If it's under 2, bad.
Yeah.
It was over 2. So red alert.
Red alert.
Okay. It wasn't much. It
Great
wasn't much
game.
over 2.
Okay, but it was still over it.
So turns out that there was I didn't know what to do, so I called my dad, and he told me there was a little thing I had to turn. So I turned it, and then it was done.
There you go. And don't you feel proud of
Yeah.
yourself having fixed that and not having to call a plumber?
I mean, I called my dad to ask
That's
about
fine.
it. So,
Yeah.
but
Still
it felt pretty
fixed
good
it.
to turn the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. My fridge stopped working the other day, and I researched all about fridges and made it work again. I felt like a god.
You fixed your fridge. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's next
Felt like a
level.
god among mere
Talk about
mortals.
fridges now, Chris. You can come back.
Oh, God, I'm interested in this. I just got my rope out.
You just see Chris hanging in the background. Just
Do it.
swaying. When I grew up, I always wanted to be an ornament.
Oh, Tom's back. Oh, is that
Is he?
more DP?
Has he got a Mr. Pip?
You back with some
Oh.
DP?
Oh yeah, back with some DP.
Nice.
What was the question? Plumbing.
Plumbing.
To answer the
I'm gonna get a
question,
glass of wine. Hold on.
no.
The guy was round to do our kitchen tiles, and the tap was being weird. So he basically, when we moved into our house, every time you flush the toilet, the kitchen tap would turn on, and he fixed it.
That's
Sorry, Alex.
awesome,
I missed
man.
most of that story. I was getting
Say it one more time.
Alex is
Alex is gone. He's gone to get wine.
Oh, good. That'll be good for the last hour.
Oh, there he is. That's Alex who doesn't have a camera because it's hooked up to the streaming PC. Alex,
That's also why you
No,
hear
we've
some echo
only-
sometimes. That's
Yeah, because we're in the same room.
Wait. Are you guys like?
It turns out when Daltos couldn't guess their last name, they also have the same.
they
one.
have the same last name. Do
Why
we
is
not?
that? How they do that?
They're brother and
no,
sister.
not this
They are
again.
brother
Oh,
sister.
yeah.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows in chat.
Oh, dear.
Old brother sister combo, living together, raising bunnies.
Sleeping to... Yeah.
I haven't called a plumber to the house. No.
No.
What,
That was
what's,
the
what's the next question?
next question. All right.
I'm getting excited now.
Oh, what was that? You were talking over the
This
question,
feels like,
Briony.
This feels like back when you used to fill out live journal quizzes. This
Yeah.
is exciting.
To your home lately? How superstitious are you? How much?
How superstitious are you?
I'm not.
Because he said superstitious. I didn't say superstitious. I know it's superstitious, but the way he pronounced it was superstitious.
I'm not exceptionally superstitious.
No, not at all.
I
No.
am.
Yeah? What's
mean-
your? Oh, no, let's do Tom first. What are you?
I like Alex.
I've got some like ghost stories from when I was younger, but I don't
I mean,
necessarily.
you might as well call me Stevie Wonder
You're dead.
because I'm very superstitious.
Oh, I thought it was
That's
because
a
you're
good
dead.
joke.
The sign of a good joke is when you have to shout, "That's a good joke!" After.
That's a good joke.
Joke, damn it. And he was right. I missed it.
What encompasses superstitious?
I was about to say that. So like you don't ever believe that like don't step on a crack, you'll break your mom's back, or like
Oh, right.
you hold your
stand by
breath while your sporting team is winning and they'll keep winning.
You bitch.
You bitch.
No, I'm not superstitious at all in that case.
Yeah.
Like, I made a point of like stepping on the cracks and walking under ladders, and like,
Screw you, mum.
You wouldn't
I get back and she's like wrapped in a coil, like a pretzel. Oh my god!
You broke me, son.
You did this.
Did you step on any cracks today? Yes.
All of them.
Why
As you
are
can
all
tell.
our mirrors smashed? Fuck you, that's why.
You don't feel bad at all smashing a mirror? You don't feel like at least a little bad if you would do that?
You
I
make it
feel-
sound like
I mean-
I do it often. I wake
I mean,
up.
if my knuckles are bleeding, then yeah, I feel bad, right? Like,
I don't think I have a mirror in here. I use a webcam.
You smash your
Weird.
webcam.
I
wait,
don't
do you
have a
use your
mirror.
webcam with like filters on?
No.
No, mine just has so much light behind me. It looks like there's a filter
I
on.
was
The
just
ring
wondering
light because
if what you're using to gauge how good you look in a day is a camera that has tons of filters.
I'm not saying I look
Ooh.
good. I'm just, I'm saying I can't smash mirrors.
Oh.
There's nothing. There's no way in any of these like situations that I look good. I'm just saying I'm not punching mirrors.
Oh, Chris.
Thanks, Brian.
You're adequate. You enjoy like
I'll take that.
yeah. You're like me. We walk into a room. We're not a Tom Hazel, of course, but like we walk
I
into
walk
a
into
room,
a room. No one turns their head for
No.
a good or a bad reason.
for a good or a bad reason. I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's it.
Yeah, you're very average looking. So average that can't remember your name.
Who? I was talking to Alex. Give me a second.
He's
No,
still getting wine.
no,
you mean
that meant I
me?
was talking to
Oh,
Chris.
that
Yeah,
Alex. Oh, okay.
it was a good joke. Damn it. Are you superstitious, Briony?
Yeah, very. Like, I will salute like magpies if I see them on their own,
What?
and I will.
I said superstitious, not
Yeah.
insane.
Oh no, actually, yeah, magpies. If I see one magpie, I'm like,
You gotta give it the old.
find a friend.
Why?
Find a friend, you motherfucker.
What's wrong with you?
Why aren't there magpies? They're just magpie.
Good friend.
You can't
I
even
will
play brunch
literally,
club.
I will pick out like the socks I'm gonna wear on that day based on which ones I think will be the best socks for that day.
Absolutely.
Do you have
I
days?
wear odd socks all
I-
the time.
Yeah, I wear mismatched socks because I believe it's luckier.
Do you have the socks with the day written on them?
No.
Okay.
No, because that would be worse.
I'll
They'd
be
just,
like, I will literally, when I open my
have to
sock drawer,
find them.
I will see a pair of socks and I'll be like, if I don't wear those socks, then
It'll be
I'm
a bad
setting
day.
myself up for
I'm
a bad
going
day,
to
so I
die
have to wear
today.
those ones.
And you feel it when you look at it. You're like, oh, that's my socks for today. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
No.
You're not superstitious? You just said you were Stevie Wonder.
No, that was just a good joke.
You're just throwing that. You're throwing that great
No,
joke
I
around
don't-
without believing it.
I'm too. I don't know. I'm just too miserable to care.
It's gonna be a bad day today. Good. It always is.
Like you just get on with it. I've got enough shit to worry about than having there's a bird that's lonely. I've got to salute it.
It's
And
not
then-
because it's lonely, it's because it's bad luck.
Yeah, one's bad luck.
Okay.
Yeah, but 2, good luck.
Yeah.
3,
Oh, well.
Right out,
Baby.
wait,
4 for a
what?
girl.
girl. You see,
Wait, what's 3?
1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, and 4 for a boy. 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told, which is probably the most ominous. Luckily,
I know the
magpies
true
don't
meaning
have that many
behind God.
friends.
Oh, you see 7 magpies, and they all whisper at the same time.
They would just turn around to look at you like,
their heads turn backwards like The Exorcist.
You're in the closet. Oh my god.
that's
The
the
seventh
one.
seal is open.
Oh,
I know the
very-
true identity of Mr. Pibb.
Never tell anyone.
Never tell.
7 crows stood on a pentagram going, Pib, Pib,
Pib,
Pib.
Pib.
Hey, Alex, how superstitious are you?
Yep. I just
Stitches.
before I answer that, I just had a wee and I didn't
Dream of that.
I didn't do the
I
thing.
didn't wash my
Well,
hands.
guess what, bitch? This is a dream.
This is a dream. Hey.
Yeah, Mr. Pibb was in the bath
Alex,
behind me.
have you
I'm not
seen your phone?
superstitious at all.
Oh, he's holding it.
I'm holding it right now.
Damn it.
Fine. No, I'm not superstitious at all. I don't think. I think Brian is definitely way more superstitious than I am.
Well, it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I got to you last, and we've already been over Briony, so keep up, Alex.
Skip right past that.
I was when I grew up. Like my whole family were religious, so I was very superstitious.
Is religion
and
the same as superstition?
Yes, because you're
Yeah.
doing
Father,
things
Son,
because
the
you
Holy
don't want,
Spirit,
you know, him up there to tell you off.
Oh.
Yeah.
And by him up there, she means the 7 magpies.
7 magpies that look down on us all.
Who form
Mr.
one
Mr.
being.
Pip who lives in our attic.
They're like Voltron. They just.
Is anyone
Ching,
else? Is
ching.
it just Briony?
Yeah.
No, I'm extremely superstitious over everything. The Giants won the Super Bowl. That's my football team back in 2007. I watched the entire game with a roll of duct tape on my leg, because that's where it was when
Oh
the
my
Giants scored their
you're
first
like,
touchdown.
You're like Charlie in
Yeah.
Always Sunny.
Oh yeah.
I would do that. I would drink green. I meant it.
God.
I mean, people get like that with the right shirt and everything as well, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're wearing
Yeah.
a decent shirt, then that's bad luck. If you're
Well-
I think that's probably like a marketing strategy, right?
Yeah.
You have to buy the update shirt.
Yeah.
Or else.
According,
Well, you
according
see it
to
with, like,
Space Jam, Michael Jordan
with
wore his
tennis
college
players.
shorts under under his shorts for every NBA.
His college shorts every time.
Nadal,
Yeah.
Nadal always fiddles with his balls before he serves.
Yeah.
Like,
And he
yeah.
does the like
Testicles.
nose
His
ear,
testicles.
nose ear.
Nose ear, testicles.
No.
Yeah, I spend the entire episode.
I remember his phone number.
masturbating furiously. It's good luck.
Yeah.
A kid I played football with in high school.
D&D, every role he's like, this is for every role. And he
20. D20. It works.
That reminds me, the first time I ever played D&D.
Wait, where's okay.
When,
That reminds me,
Thomas
first time I
Hazel
ever
was
jacked
my
off.
DM, and he told me to roll something, and I said to him, "What's the D for?" And he looked at me and said, "The ladies."
I'm quite a hit.
That's Tom's merch.
The D is for the ladies, Briony.
Oh my god. How's High Rollers
What's
going
the
for you
next
right now?
question? Oh,
Oh, I thought
Wait,
I
did
actually
Ryan
had an
ask
actual
that?
question there.
I thought Daltos was the interviewer, to be honest, Briony.
Yeah,
no,
damn it.
sorry, Carry on.
If you want to do this with me from now on, that'd be great.
Wait, so what was
stuck
your question,
alone.
Briony?
My question was, what's the next?
Question. Hang on, here we go.
How much money would it take to make you spend a night in the cemetery?
How much money would it take to make you spend a night in the cemetery? Tom, go.
Not very much.
Not very much, really.
No, I'd do it. Like, oh, actually, I think I could milk it, right?
Yeah, you gotta
Wait,
milk
what?
it for a bit.
Corpse.
I could probably barter it. I could milk a corpse.
You can milk anything. Because keep in mind, you
Tom-
gotta
Tom
schlep
Hazel,
out
top of his
there.
CV. Top of his CV. I can milk a horse.
I can milk that.
Milk a horse.
Milk that. Milk that dead body too. Just keep.
you don't milk a dead horse.
Famous Tom Hazel saying.
Yeah. Put that on the shirt. That's on the back side of Daltos' shirt.
Milk it. I always say, what do I say? And then on the
It's
back.
like my
Never
dad
mind,
always
said
says.
horse.
You can never milk a dead horse.
Alex and I got married in a cemetery. So
What?
if it was that one in particular,
It's not just outside a
wouldn't
church.
have to-
You got married in a cemetery?
no, it's
Yeah.
a Victorian cemetery.
Google
Uh,
it. Daltos, you can show everyone.
I can. I
It's
forgot that I have. That's why I have it set up like
It's
this.
called Arnos Vale Cemetery.
Arnis Vale?
Arnos spelled
Anus Vale.
Anus.
Arnos.
VALE.
Arnos Vale Cemetery. Okay. It popped up on
Oh,
my
there you go.
Google
Yeah,
Maps.
that's
It's got 4.5 stars. It's a great place to die at, according to Google.
You can't. You
The-
can't get a spot there.
Is that a
The
slogan?
fifth star was taken off because they found Tom milking corpses in the back.
Great ceremony, but there's this guy back there milking my mom after we buried her. And
I love
Man,
it.
who buys the milk?
I gotta get the Mr. Pibb.
what do you think Mr. Pibb's made out of?
It's the secret ingredient.
Yeah, so this is like an old. I think it's that old, but it's a couple of hundred years. Like all the spots are taken now, like by rich families. And
Damn
stuff.
it!
Which actually, editor Matt,
Yeah.
who was an editor for the Ostcast, some of his family are buried there, which means he's probably very rich.
Oh yeah.
So let's mug him.
This is Muckham, yeah. This is like the worst designed cemetery I've ever seen. They just threw the graves anywhere. That guy's in someone else's grave.
But it was a very lovely place to get married.
Why do we not
A lot
bury
of people
people
fall
vertically?
down.
Right? Build them vertically. You got
Because
more
that
space.
have to be because they have to be 6 feet down, and if you buried them vertically, that would just be you'd have to bury
Yeah,
them.
but you
like,
could get
18
two
feet.
in one space. And
Yeah.
also,
Slum.
18 feet. Who do you know is
isn't it-
12
if
feet
you're
high?
upside down, head at the bottom.
Yeah.
If
Maths
the
isn't my
undead
strong-
ever, if
Oh,
the
yeah.
undead ever they're upside down.
They're upside down. Can't get out. When they're on their backs, they can push up. But when they're upside down, they're
Yeah.
stuck. Yeah. But the thing is, you have to dig 6 feet down for a normal burial. Now you gotta build dig
Yeah.
like fucking 20 feet down. I'm not doing that. I barely want to dig
12.
as much as I
That's what
am
I meant
for
to say. I meant to
corpses.
say 12.
You
Yeah,
can't have a
Because
zombie problem
otherwise
if you cremate
the-
everyone.
that's true.
Devil will pinch your bum. What is the reasoning? Why is
That's,
it?
What?
that's another weird superstition thing, isn't it? Like you don't like the idea of being. Wait, you don't want to be cremated, or you do? I can't remember which one it is.
That's why Alex is in charge of my will.
No.
I don't want to be cremated. I really believe we use what part of our bodies are in the afterlife. So if you cremate me, I'm just gonna be ashes in the afterlife. It's gonna
Oh,
suck.
Do whatever you want to me. I'm dead. I don't care.
Just throw my corpse into the
I'll let
river.
Tom milk
You
you.
can milk me. Yeah.
You said
Like how he
anything.
lived,
Milk away.
getting milked by Tom Hazel.
A fine friend in life and a fine milky in death.
So wait, so Alex and Briony, are you saying that you wouldn't? Wait, are you saying it was the cost of your wedding would make you spend a night in a cemetery?
No, like
cemeteries aren't
that
bad places,
particular
are they?
cemetery was. I'd stay there. It was nice.
I like cemetery. I really like cemeteries actually. I
Oh,
just
you
like
don't
going
have-
around them.
That's a
You
superstition.
don't have a
I wish
choice.
I married a
It's a
cemetery,
real
actually.
I was
spooky-
fine.
If you don't have a choice and it's a really spooky cemetery like fog
Yeah.
and moon, lightning,
What,
Well,
Are
Does
there
it-
actual ghosts? Do ghosts exist and zombies in this scenario?
what do
or
you
is it
mean?
just
Go-
Of
the
course they
world?
exist in this scenario. They exist in the real world.
Depends how excited you are, Chris.
well, I mean,
Okay.
if you're messing up the scenario, you could say like, how much
I'm in
money?
a cemetery, so
How much
automatically
money
half
would you
shot.
expect-
Godzilla there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there dinosaurs?
How much money would you expect to stay in a cemetery all night? Also, there's an axe murderer.
He's got a hacksaw.
Yeah.
Well,
He's a samurai.
I'd be fine. I'd be fine because I'm not an axe.
I'm not a tree. I'm not gonna get cut. No, that's super. Because first off, you gotta think. You gotta schlep out to the fucking cemetery, right? You can't sleep in your beds. That sucks. You gotta get a tent,
Yeah.
all that crap. Field rations, of
Do
course.
you have to sleep? Can you not just stay awake?
You
I
might
think I'll
have
probably
to,
just stay
yeah.
awake.
I'd probably
feel
just
a bit
sleep.
bad having a poo in a cemetery. I guess that would be my.
You pooped in a cemetery?
Well, no. I mean, I'd feel bad because if you're
Oh.
gonna sleep somewhere, you're gonna poo there.
Eventually, yeah.
And I'd feel bad pooing on a cemetery.
That's not the requirement.
No, she does shit the bed
Right,
quite
okay,
It's just
so
how
what
much
we
money,
found out
not if you have to
about
poop or not.
Briony is that if she pees in her dreams, she might be peeing in real life, and she has to poop at
Yeah.
one point if she sleeps.
Yeah,
During the night.
During have you ever slept in a car?
of course.
Anytime
Yes.
you have
And I didn't poo in the car. That's a really good point.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
I won't
That
poop in a
time.
cemetery. So how much?
You're the master of your own body.
So Alex, this is an
I'm really not.
Yeah.
I've got IBS. The poo wins every time. the poo controls me.
how would you stay up all night if you're in a cemetery which almost definitely doesn't have like data for internet or Wi-Fi?
I would.
Just read the
So
graves.
Read the
Oh,
gravestones,
nice.
yeah.
a huge amount of time. Like, I love wandering around just reading the tombstones.
Yeah.
There's something about like just reading. You know when you see people
I'm gonna
who
have "Hi Alex" written on my tomb.
I could.
And he's
I love
gonna have low
Oh,
Alex
there's a
written
moth.
on his.
I love
I'm
like,
not
just
beside
read-
me.
you know when you go to Tombstone and you're like looking for like super old ones, like
Yeah.
people who died in like the 1700s or something ridiculous, and their
Yeah.
tomb.
Yeah.
I love
Full
that.
of
They have their list of deaths on there.
The
Oh, they're
older the
roasted.
better.
My favorite thing about that particular cemetery is because it's sort of like it was made in that age where people were very superstitious about death, so they didn't really want to say like they died, goodbye. So all of them have this sort of like euphemism of death where they're like, to Edgar who fell asleep, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what? You just buried him.
Who fell asleep in front of a car. trying to read an epithet and I can't see it.
I
Oh,
think
well.
I could stay in a cemetery, not for much money either. I'm not fussed.
But how much?
And like a meal deal, that'll do.
A mill deal, really?
I'm a struggling game dev.
You couldn't
You
milk
take-
more?
I'll sell a copy of Brunch Club and I'll stay.
No, you need to take the job off
Available
someone
now.
who's very superstitious, and then they'll
Stevie
like,
Wonder.
make tons of money, right? Because they're fully believing ghosts, magpies,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
walking on the
Mary
Cora.
loves dick.
Mary loves dick.
Mary loves dick.
Oh, he's dead now.
What?
Derek
Derek
Cora's dead.
Would you stay in a cemetery if
No.
you knew that Derek Akora was going to come out?
I would.
No.
Yes, 100%.
Deltos, do you have any
Imagine
idea-
being asleep at night and just hearing, "Oh," and you, "I'm a ghoul."
Deltos, do you have any idea who Derek Akora
Do you like
I'm
dick?
Googling right now.
Okay, all you need to do is search Derek Akora, Mary loves dick.
Mary loves dick.
Mary
This is
loves
like
Dick. Basically, her husband was called Dick. If you
it's the prime of British television.
Not because, basically, I
Didn't,
know the
Pyrian
name
used to
Robert
work on,
walks round,
Most Wanted.
and I know Mary
Doesn't
does.
Pyrian
But
love
there's this
dick?
peace and calm,
Hang on, listen
spiritual
to it now.
activity there with...
You all right?
Hold on.
What is it, Derek? You all right?
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick.
I don't need to know the rest of the context to know how great that was. Mary loves dick.
Mary loves dick.
Because you got to do that if you're a ghost, right? If someone's trying to communicate you with, you got to make some sort of like.
Yeah.
If you're married,
If I was sending a message, I'd be like, shove it up my ass.
Tom wants it in his ass. Tom wants it in his ass. What's that mean?
It means he wants it in his ass.
Touch
Stop
my Mr. Pibb.
milking me. I don't know what she means. I don't know.
I don't know.
Could mean anything.
What's he talking about? I don't understand.
Jesus.
Oh.
What would
What's
your,
the next
what would
question?
your,
Next
what would your
question.
ghostly death throes be? What message would you send to a medium to really fuck people up?
I'm a fraud because they would be telling the
Oh,
truth,
So, yeah.
nice.
but then everyone would be like, "What?"
There's no
There
ghosts.
you go. Really fuck with them.
Ghosts? I'd be like,
go.
I'd probably just ask him the questions I'm asking now.
All those in one go.
Have you ever gone
Fire.
mountain
We
biking?
go mountain biking. Wait a second,
Last time
I'm.
you called a plumber out.
What was the last time you
Super
called a
stitches.
plumber?
This can't be right. It's
I've
asking
gone
me.
to Bama recently.
You ever pee in your dreams and think you're pissing in real life?
The spirits are fucking with me.
What do you think of Mr. Pibb?
Have you ever broken a bone?
Next question.
You ever played Carmageddon?
What was that one song in Carmageddon?
One song. No, you're wrong. It was two. Fuck.
It's like the medium arguing back to the spirit. No, it was Carmageddon 2. I keep telling you this.
Next question.
All right, next question.
You display this as a trophy?
Would you display that as a trophy? It's a picture of antlers.
Oh,
no, no.
You're against.
absolutely
Oh,
would.
Tom absolutely would, right?
Yeah, I have got. So I've
Pretty cool, everything.
tons, not real antlers. However, I kind of do want them. I like of deer heads and antlers and all these different things all over my house. There's like one part of my house that is like there's one on the wall, another one on the wall, another one on like a bookshelf, another one on another shelf. Like within reaching distance,
Why?
I've got just tons of like deer antlers. I just fucking love them.
Deer antlers are cool.
Screen, you were just doing this.
I got one over here. I got one over here.
Yeah, it's all over me.
Big one right in front of me.
What do you like so
I
much
feel like
about
your house is just gonna be full of like
Antlers
shit
just fall off.
taxidermy.
He just grabs them.
I feel
No,
like
no.
one day you're gonna start dressing as a deer.
No, I don't know. I don't think I'd actually want some real antlers or like a real deer head, right? That's weird.
Yeah.
But like, I just love antlers and deers. I just love the animal, and I've got tons of like.
It's a cool animal. It's your
This
Patronus.
is gonna build up to Tom cutting a hole in his wall and putting a plaque on the other side of it, just
He
sticking
sticks his
his
head
head
through.
through.
This is how I communicate with
shock
people
guests.
now. Okay? You have to deal with it. I'm an antlerkin.
You're in the realm of the Antler King now.
Briony, you like animals. Would you ever put antlers up?
Briony, you like animals. Do you want to display dead ones on your wall?
Would you ever?
No, I don't like it. Like, I used to do, like, back when I was working on TV stuff, I used to do lots of stuff in big manor houses, and they would always just have so much, like, weird, shitty 100-year-old taxidermy and all of the antlers and stuff. I find it really creepy. I don't
Oh
know.
my god, that reminds me of that manor house. Did I ever tell you about the one that I filmed? It was just before I started working at the office.
No.
Yeah.
The one there was a manor house that we filmed in like I think it was just outside of London. It was like it was I don't know who it was. Like it was for a short film, and the family were out of town, or they were. It was their like summer manor, and it was like I don't know 3 times bigger than 4 times, maybe 5 times bigger than the house that I live in, with like a massive ground and stuff. And they employed someone to just live there. Tom's gone.
I don't know why he keeps doing that to you.
And just look after the grounds. And that was all that was
Because
his entire job.
Chris.
Like he lived in the house, and then just that was it. They just paid him to do that. But anyway, like the entire house was just filled with like massive paintings of Margaret Thatcher everywhere.
That's actually pretty erotic.
In the bedroom, there was a whole wall that was her as an angel.
What?
Yeah.
Above the stair, there was a hallway with like photographs of her, but there were like actual like paintings as well. Like it's in the bedroom was the one that made me feel like the weird, like she was had like kind of
Full
angelic.
nude.
So you worked.
No, it was like instead of wallpaper, it was just her face, but there was like a kind of like angelic wings in the
Made from
background.
her actual skin, I'm assuming.
I thought it must have been someone who knew her. Like,
They
it
got
was,
a lamp made out of the leather from her skin.
Would you do that though? If someone
No.
painted you like nude on horseback, would you accept the painting?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It'd be behind me right
If
now.
it was
Depends
flattering,
how
then
well it
yeah.
goes, might be the pin.
And what if they gave you? Yeah, they give you a picture, Briony, and it's like you bimbo form with like massive, like Always Sunny with the giant tits. I guess I'll.
Yeah.
Like
I'll put that
battling a
up.
mountain lion.
If
with a
they
broad
gave
sword.
me one that's anatomically correct, no. Let's
It's Chris
He's
fighting a mountain lion,
They-
but with
They
And
wouldn't
that'll
have
be
enough
his new
pictures.
mirror. That'll be his new mirror. He won't have to use the webcam anymore.
no.
an anatomically correct Chris fighting a mountain lion with an uncomfortably big penis. It's like bigger. It's like a third leg.
It's not real life.
It's just real life. All right, next.
Yeah, I'd
next.
just play that. Not the Chris one.
No.
Hang on, I've got an alternate question. This is a bit grim. Would you ever get taxidermy of your own pets?
Oh, my mom
Whoa.
legitimately wants to do that.
No.
Really?
Yeah, she legitimately
you?
wants. No, come on, who would stuff me? I haven't been stuffed in years.
If you go before me, I'm gonna get you as a coat rack.
Yes, hang it up
You
on me.
just hold like that, and you just rest the coat on it,
Wearing deltos over her shoulders before she goes out.
like
You
a
could have
scarf.
Two
I've left
coats
my
and a
son at the
hat.
restaurant.
Let's get the heck.
There's no one here. No. He's a scarf.
would you submit your body to medical science if you knew that you were going to appear on that live autopsy show?
Oh,
Oh, awesome! Yeah, definitely.
What about the Bodyworks guy? Have you seen the Bodyworks where they
That's what I mean. That guy.
they plastinate?
on
Yeah,
Harkins.
yeah, and then like
Yeah.
the one I went to in London, Bodyworks, they have a couple having sex, but the woman is split down the middle.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
it's
do when
really
I have
weird.
sex.
Yeah.
reminds
that's
me
what
of
he
our
does, like,
wedding
and-
night.
Yeah, so that guy does the like, he
So is
did
the
a live.
man's penis. The man's penis is split up the middle as well. It's really like, he looks like,
Oh
it's
my
not Bodyworks. If anyone wanted to know.
Did no one hear what Briony said?
No, what did she say? Oh god, I heard. I can put the pieces together. I heard split out the middle.
Oh, thank God, Alex is on camera right now.
He's smirking. He's just sat there. It's like,
He went there and you went. High five.
High five myself.
that's right.
Next question.
Briony, you're meant to have a wholesome stream on Sunday. You're meant to be the good one.
We're not even
It's
halfway
after
through this
9.
week.
Oh yeah, you did your morning stream today, right? You were on
I
this.
did. This is my cheeky way of getting a double feature.
double feature one day. Oh my god, it's gonna happen when I have you on with Bree or something.
Oh, God,
again,
I'm not pairing with him.
yeah.
Trophy? Do you have a pet?
Do you have a pet?
Oh, and yeah, no, I wouldn't. No. No,
Wait.
that's
What was the question?
Do you have a pet? Was the question apparently?
Oh, I thought the question was, would you ever get your pet taxidermy?
That was my question.
Well,
You have a
yeah,
pet?
we'll change that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll
No.
change that because he said, "Do you have a pet?" We'll say, "Would you ever get your pet taxidermied?" Would you ever get? What up, Ashley? Would you ever get Fionn and other one, Jerry,
No.
Alex?
Hey, would you get me texted?
No, I don't like taxidermy.
Yeah, it's
I feel
creepy.
like their souls are trapped.
Yeah.
See, that's the
It bothers
superstition
me.
again.
It's this stupid pigeon. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Burn it.
Fair enough.
Would you get your pet's taxidermy, Chris?
No, it's just extra shit that I don't need in my life, isn't it?
Just an extra step. Tripping over these dead animals I got everywhere.
It's just more tap.
Why can't I hold all these animals?
I don't need stuff.
There's legitimately a taxidermist at some point in time who had that problem. I can't hold all these dead animals at once.
Oh, fuck.
I've got it just opens drawers and it's just trying to shove
Shove it in there. Get in there.
My
God.
nan had a taxidermied fox on the wall at her farm. I
Yeah.
always remember that. It's weird. I
My
used to like touch its face when I walked past.
yeah.
Yeah,
My
it's weird.
my uncle Stanley, who was the most unassuming Pennsylvania farmer you had ever met, had a hall of torture where it was just like for some reason he had like 15 dead stuffed deer in there and dead deer heads up on the walls,
Did
a
he
dead
call
tiger
it
he
the
shot.
Hall of
What?
Torture? Did he call it the Hall of Torture?
No, I mean we just called it. It was like the Hall of Horror or something. It was literally a whole barn filled with stuffed dead animals. It blew our mind how many animals he killed in his life.
I
What a-
went on this film shoot into this tiny town that was sounding like a village in the middle of nowhere, and they set us up in this little like town hall weird barn thing. I don't really know what it was, to have our breakfast in, and that was like that.
Yeah.
You just had to have. There was literally hundreds.
Yeah.
On the walls, and you were just trying to eat your toast.
It's
just
like you already have-
staring at the plate, just like, God.
You already have 2 deer on the wall. Do you really need 7 more? How many deer do you have to display your prowess for killing deer? All right, next question.
Do you ever cry yourself to sleep?
You ever feel
Well, you
bad
gotta-
sometimes?
A sweet tooth?
I
Do
have
you-
a question for Chris.
Okay.
No. Oh god.
Jonathan
If you could, like, shave off your beard in such a perfect way that you could just wear it whenever you wanted, would you do it? You could
think
go
everyone
between
would.
being clean
Well, like a
shaven.
A beard
to
wig.
bed.
A beard wig, like a yeah.
Oh,
thing.
okay. So to add to that, if you like have glue and you pull off the beard, right? You
Right.
never grow hair again on your face.
Right.
Plaster back
So-
on.
The beard that you have is the beard you'll always ever have if you put it back on. That's the
Yeah.
rule.
Oh, it's just, again, it's just more shit. Like, just,
I've got
this
a
is here
question for Chris.
because I'm lazy. Like, it's not here because I want a collection. I don't want like a pull-out drawer. And go, "Ooh, what beard do I want? Oh, this one goes with my suit.
I've got
it's-
a question for Chris.
It's not a bad idea though.
Are you okay, man?
I just fucking
Right.
give up on life, man. Life is just too.
I'm fine.
much
I've,
shit.
I'm a good
Gin.
psychologist. I'll help you out.
I've had like a nice amount of gin today. I'm good.
All right. Well, good.
That was in that water bottle. The water bottle you
Just
keep drinking from. Just neat shit.
It's just pure gin.
Pure
you-
Tom.
For you high schoolers out there, whenever you see your teacher hitting that cup a little too many times, there's wine in it.
Yeah. Next question.
Next question.
Next question.
Are you a sweet tooth? Was the next question. Tom, sweet tooth.
I used to be, and then I got a really, really bad like hole in my tooth. Right? What?
Cavity.
It's an advert.
What are you doing?
Huh?
What?
I was trying not to laugh.
Oh, because you said, "Are you a sweet tooth?" And Briony went.
Gotta hold my breath for the rest of this.
No, I had like a really bad like hole in my tooth that was like rotten and everything, and then I had a curry,
Ooh.
and that was a
Was
bad
it your
idea.
pitch hole?
Oh,
And I really
My
What
pitch
about-
hole
what's
was
the wrong,
inflamed.
like?
and I spent like a month or two with this horrible rotten tooth that I just never got fixed.
Yeah.
And so in that case, I stopped drinking Coke, I stopped having sweets and stuff, and I just got kind of used to it when I got it fixed.
Yeah. You
That-
just stopped
that's my
eating it.
story.
Yeah. Briony, sweet tooth.
How many Dicky P's have you had? in the
Dicky-
Oh
last-
man,
Is that 0?
Yeah.
Is that 0, Tom?
Soda doesn't count.
What do you mean? It's like
The epitome,
a
yeah.
bag.
I know. Briony, sweet tooth.
Oh, don't have
Um,
sugar.
I like, yeah, but also I really like salty things.
That wasn't
I
the
just like-
fucking question. I didn't ask if you like salty.
Alex is like, yes, you do.
Shut up.
God's sake.
Stop it.
No,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah,
aren't brother and sister.
I have a sweet tooth. Yeah.
I've,
Chris, do you have a sweet tooth?
yeah.
Good. Alex, do you have a
Great
sweet tooth?
questions. This is
I
tough.
thought
I ate a whole-
my answer was
Yeah.
boring.
I got.
Turns
I,
out.
the other night I ate a whole cheesecake.
Congratulations.
Oh, hey, speaking of cheesecakes, this is a
There you go.
fun story,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
When we were in LA, we went to the Cheesecake Factory.
Greatest place on earth.
And I got like this massive, I think it was like an Oreo and just tons of shit. Like the Cheesecake Factory cheesecakes are massive.
Yeah.
And bought it to take away. Didn't eat it for ages. Got back to the hotel room and I was like, shit. There's like no cutlery in here. There isn't any forks. There isn't any knives. I was like, I really want to eat this cheesecake now. It was like 2 a.m. So I couldn't go downstairs and get a fork. So
I don't understand what the problem is here. You just put the thing up to your face and eat it.
well, I decided I'm going to use my hotel room key card
What the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
to cut it up and eat it with.
You're like chopping lines with the fucking.
I don't like getting my hands dirty, right? Like plowing into a cheesecake, so I ate it with my key card.
Your key card.
Why didn't you just put it on the desk and
Oh, what up, little
just
Nommer?
put your hands behind your back and just eat it?
Did
like
you wash
that?
the key
Why
card
have you got
first?
to put your, why
I
why
licked
is
it
the-
afterwards.
Why is the hands behind the back a necessary
So
part
that
of
they
this?
don't get dirty. Because I feel
Why
like
didn't you
doing
just go-
that
you're in a
to eat
hotel.
something off the desk instead of
You're
doing
in, a
that. that's
hotel, you're in a
weird.
hotel, which normally there's always someone there. And you
Yeah,
just go,
where's that key
"Hi,
card
can
been?"
No, it was
Well,
3
fuck.
a.m. I didn't want to at 3
It's a
a.m.
hotel.
be like this weedy British guy going downstairs and like being like, I need a fork for my massive cheesecake, please.
I would have made fun of you if I was the hotel
Did
concierge.
the hotel have room service?
I'd be like, "What, you bitch?
Probably. Probably.
Just use your key card." Just
All right, Doubtless. You said you would have made fun of me if I asked for cutlery. If you were working there and you found out I ate it with my key card, would you have had any respect for me?
yeah, I would have had a lot. That's like Survivor, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
I don't know where the key
The
card
first
has
rule
been.
of survival is to use your hotel key card to eat things.
You
So
see,
Mango-
you always see. Whenever I watched it, Bear Grylls, he's in the wild. He's like, "All right, well, now we're gonna hunt a pig," and he goes, "So
Key card.
the key card."
This is a General Marriott key card. They're stronger than the Hyats.
He just
So Man-
throws it, and it just hits the pig in the neck, and he guts it and everything.
Clean out.
Look at that.
So Mango said
Rolls off into the
where
ground.
that key card had been. I licked it, so
You know where it's been.
I cleaned it by licking it.
Licked it off.
Oh, I know exactly where it's been.
I wiped my arms with it first. Come on.
He
I
just-
like that
someone
this
bends over.
story started with you saying that you don't have a sweet tooth because you trained yourself out of it after your bad tooth.
No,
and then
I'm
you
just
got
so desperate.
for a cheesecake at 2 in the morning
No,
that you
I-
ate
I-
it with a piece of card.
Tom, are you
used to be
okay?
way
Yeah, I'm
worse.
just gonna go eat my cheesecake.
I'm saying I used to be way worse. I used to have.
Anyone got any cheesecake?
Cheesecake tremors.
You were worse than eating cheesecake with a key card.
My next question is gonna be, what was your favorite dessert? But I'm guessing I can guess what it
What's
is
wrong with
now.
you?
It's not cheesecake.
Lemon
I don't really
meringue
like
pie.
cheesecake that much.
I hate cheesecake. My
No.
freshman year girlfriend, no shit, walked 2 miles to the grocery store to buy me a cheesecake for my birthday, and I wanted to eat it. I just wanted to eat it. It's like, I'm not eating that. She's like, I walked to the store for you. I'm not eating it. It's gross.
Did she bring you back a key card as well?
He's like, I don't have a key card. How am I gonna eat this shit?
Yeah.
I'm
What the
not
fuck
gonna
you
eat that, I don't
thinking?
have any forks.
You walked over there for a cheesecake and not a key card? I should piss myself right now. Just teach you a
Luckily,
lesson.
I'm dreaming and I can't.
And I can't. Good
Where's my
callbacks. Where's my pip?
Yeah, Pip's cheesecake.
Wait, was the dessert question favorite dessert? Was
Yeah.
that a Jonathan Frakes question or was that a you question?
That was a you question.
I'm not into it then. I want Jonathan Frakes
Let's go
only
Frakes.
questions.
What do you mean by is Deltas asking Jonathan Frakes questions now?
Next question. Alex, he's right. Alex, he's
Was
right.
that a Daltos question or a Jonathan?
It was
Frakes
the Dallas.
question?
It was a you question. It was me. What was your favorite dessert? I don't think he would start with that in this show.
No.
What is your favorite dessert?
These are
You
all
believe in the
weird.
power of a
Here's all right.
curse,
Have you ever
right?
licked a
Do you-
goose and
do
you're
you-
like, what? Thanks, Jonathan.
Do you believe in the power of a curse? Do you think curses exist? I think
Oh,
that
so
ties
it's
with
back to
superstition.
Superstition again.
No.
Superstition.
No.
I do believe in curses.
Superstition.
No.
Curses, I think, are a general malaise hanging over someone, a negative thought, right? Like the curse of the Bambino when Babe Ruth was traded and the Red Sox never won a World Series again until recently. That was
Yeah.
because everyone expected they
You
weren't
love
going to
me.
lose. Pay attention.
no.
It's not. That's like general knowledge.
I don't know.
I understood those were words. I didn't understand what they meant.
I know what a babe is.
I love
I
babes.
do.
Seen Bambi.
I believe in curses in a sense that you could just have like really terrible months, and like the month just keeps going, and it's just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, but when you get it, your parents will let you play GTA.
It's true.
I don't think months were a curse.
You get a curse and your parents give you GTA to play. We're only halfway through this video. We're only 20 seconds in. All right.
Oh, I thought you said
It's
when
not
you have
family.
really bad months.
Yeah.
No.
Months
Yeah,
or months.
No, I did say months. And
Yeah.
then reality.
Oh, that's why I put my hand up.
Why? I'll call
And
it.
then Briony thought you said mumps.
Oh, we need to rattle through these questions.
Okay,
There's got
next
a lot of
question.
questions left.
Had your hearing
20
tested?
minutes and
Have you had your
Who's
hearing
like that?
tested
Who's got a year
lately?
left?
Have you
What?
had your hearing test? What?
You had your period lately.
Damn it.
no, there's no point. I'm lost cause.
Youles.
I'm deaf in my left ear.
You are?
It's not going to get any worse.
Are you deaf in your left ear?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
nuts.
almost totally deaf. Yeah,
Then
yeah.
why do you have Briony on your left?
Well, I have headphones on. We talk through the.
So
the network.
they have on disc.
Doesn't have to hear. Say that again
Just mean
over
I
here.
have to awkwardly, I have to
I mean-
awkwardly always try and walk on the left side of people so I can hear
Yeah,
them.
I've noticed that. It's really fucking annoying, actually. Next question.
Yeah.
I now
Next question.
naturally walk on people's right hand side, and I forget why.
Yeah.
And like to the point where if I like swap over sides, I'll be like, oh, sorry, and I'll go back onto the other side, and everyone's always like,
Yeah.
Alright.
why? It's a
I'm
natural
sorry.
thing
It's
that
just-
people go on
it's
my
tick.
left now.
All right.
Planning a trip soon?
Planning a
'cause I
trip
talk
soon?
out outside my mouth.
Anyone planning a trip soon?
No.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
You don't want to cross borders? You don't want to fly in a plane?
Well, we
Oh.
were going to go. We were going to go to the international this year.
Oh,
Yeah, we're meant to
yeah.
be going to Sweden this
Nah,
year, but that's
Sweden.
not happening.
Go see
Yeah, I mean,
Rivian.
they haven't actually cancelled it yet, but I'm almost certain.
No,
it's
they
not
canceled it.
happening,
Yeah.
sure.
They,
Oh,
ac-
did they?
yeah, they canceled it.
When did that happen?
Sweden's
That was a
out.
while ago. That was their
I was
announcement.
really holding
Yeah.
out. I was holding out.
And
on
we're
it,
meant to be
yeah.
going to Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
That's
Birmingham.
not happening now.
Right. Oh,
Oh, a couple of boys.
oh, that would have been a great trip. That would have been.
What was everyone's favorite vacation they ever took?
So I had only been abroad. I went abroad for the first time when I was
And
like
one
14.
abroad.
One abroad when I was like 14, and then
Is this
after
Broad
that-
Street? It is now. And after
So I haven't really been on like a lot of holidays, but man, I fucking loved LA.
yeah, LA's
Actually,
pretty
I
cool.
really like Seattle. Seattle's.
What did you like
Yeah.
about LA so much? Just the
Cheesecake.
weather.
The
I
cheesecake.
think maybe the weather. Yeah.
They look at him
Cheesecake.
when he gets the key card out.
Yeah, I
That
sit in
man,
any restaurant.
that man has some fine cuisine.
That's how Tom remembers all his vacations, the various key cards he
Yeah.
saves.
I just flex on people by eating with my credit card.
This is a Black American Express metal credit card. They only give it to the finest people, and you chop your
Machine washable.
chop your hot dog in half with that.
There's Tom
yeah,
trying to get into the door with a fork hours later, like, why is it working?
Next question.
Next question.
Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
Hang on, yeah, fucking.
Hang on.
Hang on, yeah. Let me
Hang
answer
on.
it.
What?
No, I think this question is way more important. What was that again?
I missed it. What was the question?
You said it.
What was the question?
I thought you wanted to know our favourite vacations, but then you didn't.
You
just
asked
wanted
Tom
to
and
know
then just
Tom's.
moved on.
Yeah, but then he said
Tom's
something about the
face
tallest man.
About what?
Then he said something about the tallest man.
The tallest man. I asked the vacation, but it wasn't a John Franks question or
Yeah.
Frank's question, so I was like, oh fuck, I
Wait,
fucked
you
up.
tricked
Okay.
her!
Yeah, I only asked really Tom. I only really cared what Tom had to say about it. Yeah. So, have you seen a tall man,
Well,
Yeah.
Mr. Pibb, looming over in your second-story window somehow? You look out and he's standing there.
It's the 42nd floor.
there was the tallest man, I don't know if he's still the tallest recorded man, but a guy called Robert Wadlow. And he died many, 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 many years ago. But there was a statue of him in this like really crappy British museum. And when I was a child, I stood next to the statue.
Was it two size? Like the statue was his size?
What would be the point of it if it wasn't? You wouldn't like this.
The world. The world.
It was a miniature version of the...
Demonstrate the
This man was 8 foot, but we could only afford a 4-foot statue.
Oh my god.
So 3 feet tall and the plaque just says, "We're sorry."
I swear to God, I'm usually better than this. I had an off day.
Fucking hell. 15 minutes left to really rattle through some questions.
All right. I'm sorry. Did anyone else want to talk about their tall man sightings? Chris?
Hang on, okay, right.
Chris, you're
Why don't
still
you-
talking.
We got the best answer already. Next.
Why don't you quick fire a question and then ask a random person?
There we go.
And one answer per question.
Okay.
Do you like to go wandering beneath the clear blue sky?
Alex, do you like to go a wandering beneath a clear blue sky?
Yeah, I do. I love it.
He does. Even I know that.
Everyone knows that. That's the one thing
loves a
people
walk.
know about me.
Alex found a fact right there.
He's gone. He's left.
Fuck wandering beneath a clouded sky. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Wait,
Oh god.
what's the
I've
next
never had
question?
to de-steam my glasses so much.
Next question.
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become?
Have you noticed what Big Star's real estate agent have become? Briony, go.
What?
What?
Have you noticed?
Okay, so this is a weird one. I know. I'm
Oh,
not
Chris
right,
instead.
but
Chris, go.
Estate agents aren't like we don't have realtors really, do we? Like,
No.
Wait, what was
We
the
don't have-
question?
have you noticed how big estate agents have become lately?
Yeah.
Not the tallest man.
They're as tall as Robert Wadlow. The statues
They're
of them
as
everywhere.
tall.
But they're only like 3 foot high. The
There's a
statues say
statue of this real
imagine
estate agent.
this real estate agent's like a lot taller.
It's 0.25 instead.
How tall are you? I'm 1.7 real estate agents.
Woo. Anyways, estate
They're not
agents.
that big in England. Like we don't have realtors, so it's not like you go see a estate agent and there's just lots of them and they're all miserable, and they all try and con you for loads of money.
Wait,
Not-
that was
not
your
big.
interesting answer to this question.
No, in America, like in Modern Family, right? He's a
Yeah.
realtor, right? Oh, she
Take it
one of
easy,
them's a
Ashley.
realtor. I don't know, fine.
Yeah, Phil.
Ah, one
I
of
don't
'em.
Pay attention. One of them does something.
Phyllis.
Yeah, Ty Burrell.
Yeah.
Phil, as Tom said.
Yeah,
But
Phil.
like he has like
Phil
posters
Dunphy.
on, but you can get their faces on benches. They're like
Yeah.
on their photos are outside their houses. Here it's just like no one cares.
So let me see if I'm getting you
Yeah.
straight here. Let me see if I understand fully. You recognize that real estate agents are becoming more popular, but you haven't seen it lately.
In American culture only.
Okay, good. Thank you. Next
Yeah.
question.
Actually, that
You
goes
care?
back to the vacation question, right? That was one thing
Tom.
I found really weird about. Okay, carry on.
What the fuck?
I mean, I was said next question, and now you're talking about
We've got 12 minutes.
vacations.
We've got 12 minutes.
12
I'm
minutes
sorry.
left.
Bye, Mango.
With your personal record.
I missed
So
that.
Mango is leaving.
Bye, Mango.
I missed that because of fucking Ashley. All right, hang on.
Agents have become. Are you careful with your personal records?
Are you careful with your personal records, Tom?
My personal records, like songs.
No, like data about you,
he's
your
got a
bank
fax machine
statements.
No, that's what
You look after your
Tom
fax
Hazel.
machines.
I keep all my greatest hits in a sealed case. Yeah.
Can you sing one of them for us?
Tom Hazel's greatest hits is just
Oh. Yeah. Tom Hazel. Yeah, that's me.
No, Tom. You've you've misheard the question. It's Tom Hazel's greatest shits. Now, the space was in the wrong place. Where do you keep those?
Oh,
Do I
hang on.
Do I preserve my greatest shits? I
Yes.
once
Do you dry them out.
I once pooped and was 100% certain that it looked like the Philosopher's Stone.
So you fished it out.
So I
Right.
fished it out,
Yeah.
froze it, and then
Showed it to your
You just
parents.
open the freezer for guests to come over.
still got it to this day.
You guys want to
Alex,
see
you've seen it.
something? Look in there.
I have it. It's a banger.
Yeah, I've got it framed. It really didn't stand up to framing though.
He's got
It's
it next to
Push
the.
it down.
Push it down. It's like what happened when you made the world's
Try and
tallest
tuck it
man
down, yeah.
statue. You get it,
Now I've
smush
got
it
like a
down.
Philosopher's Stone brown pancake. Next question.
Next question.
Just want to say, Taxidermy.
15
Sorry,
more
carry on.
seconds.
I like that.
Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own? Have you ever
Has your
Carry on.
computer ever seemed to have a mind of its own, Chris?
Did my printer? No, it never fucking works.
Has your computer ever seemed to have a mind of its
Oh,
own?
he was standing next to a printer.
It was a fax machine, okay?
Oh, okay. No.
Next
Again,
question.
it probably never-
visited a Chinatown section in a major city?
Have you ever visited a Chinatown section in a major city, Alex?
Yes, London.
Well,
It
haven't
was-
you
it was
been
pretty
to
good.
China?
It was pretty good.
Also, I went to China. Yeah.
You went to the Chinatown
London
section.
section.
I lived and worked in China for 6 months.
So what you're saying is you've been
Weirdly,
to
they didn't have a
Chinatown.
Chinatown section.
It was just called
full of-
town.
It was like
Chinatown
Chinatown for a
section's
whole
huge.
country. It was crazy.
It's like a Chinatown. It's a section of a Chinese town that's more Chinese than the rest.
I went. No, the Chinatown in London is pretty cool. That's quite nice. Yeah, that's alright. I've been there. I've eaten there a couple of times. Walked through. I bought some Chinese cigarettes.
I bought Chinese cigarettes
They were
once too.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
They're neat. They're really thin. You couldn't understand why they were so thin.
Next question.
Next question.
Ever visited a flea market?
Have you ever visited a flea market, Briony?
No, I've never needed to buy fleas.
What is
Next
this flea
question.
market?
Flea market.
Hello.
Hello? What? I'm just watching the screen. And I can just see turtles in the corner dying slightly.
They never needed any fleas.
What do you need, Alex?
What?
What? You said hello.
What is a flea? What is a flea market?
She answered it. It's where you place where you buy fleas.
Yeah.
Like a,
It's where you place bets.
buy
No.
your
Like a
knick-
rag market.
Yeah, a flea market's like a rag market, knickknacks and stuff you can
Oh,
buy from
so it's like
himself.
Wait,
over
what's a
here.
rag
It's like a car boot
It's like a
sale.
flea
Do
market.
you buy rags?
Clues in the name.
Car boot sale.
I've heard a boot
Yeah.
sale. It's just
Yeah,
a-
boot sale, but with
It's a shoe shop.
tables. I used to buy all my Magic the Gathering cards from flea markets. It's a great place to get them.
You ever visited a truck stop?
Those
What?
guys
You ever
look
visited a
tiny.
truck stop, Tom?
Hello.
Hey, Tom, you ever visited a truck stop before?
Why have I visited a truck stop?
He's asking
I
it,
feel
not
that,
me.
that question is implying something in a weird way. That
Do you ever see gladiators
You've seen a-
wrestle?
You see a few Mr.
You ever
Pibbs.
been to a truck stop before? After
Have you ever
hours?
woken up totally nude in a truck stop?
Where were you on
Oh, you
August
can-
29th?
All that's scrawled on your arm is Mr.
Why
Pibb over and over
29?
again.
What was August 29th?
It's Brunch Club release date. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Ah,
Yes.
Out now on Steam.
And
Uh,
Switch.
And so
What?
was That other game, Landlord Super, that's also out.
Yep, that's out. Yep.
Yep.
It is, yeah.
Oh,
It's out
no,
right
it's
now.
in-
It's
still in
discounted.
beta,
I'm trying to answer
It's
the
in
fucking
beta, yeah.
question, guys.
Sorry,
not
guys.
early
Everyone,
access.
shut up. Tom, go.
Are there actual truck stops in America? In the UK, sorry.
I was
Trucks have to stop.
Yeah,
But,
They don't go on forever.
but they don't
they
have
can't. They can't keep on trucking, Tom.
but they don't have like diners by the side of the highway.
Can't
No, we
keep
have
on
like a- we have
trucking.
like a
Despite what
BP
the T-shirts say, they can't, in fact, keep on trucking.
We have a BP garage and a Greg's. Like they go there, they get a sausage roll, and they fuck off.
Oh, in that case, yeah. Next question.
That's what it says in the
Next question. We're almost done.
Sausage roll. Fuck
Jog on.
Stop. Did you ever have a job
Off you
as a
truck.
waiter?
Did you ever have a job as a waiter, Briony?
No, I worked behind a bar. But,
That's not the same thing.
Then no.
Next question.
You keep doing that. I asked you if you like sweet things. You talk about salty stuff.
Have you noticed how many
I
successful
feel like it's bad
restaurants
to
are
just say yes or
theme-based
no,
these
so I
days?
like
Have
to
you
give
ever
a
had
bit of flavour.
What was that?
Restaurants are theme-based.
Next.
Have you ever noticed how many... Chris, have you ever noticed how many successful restaurants are theme-based? Have you?
know, like, one.
Chris, have you noticed the extra...
No. I know the Rainforest Cafe. That's a thing.
What's
Ever
this?
been to one of them?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought
The
Jungle
delightful.
Rumble was a cafe for ages. On the way
It's
there.
just a restaurant, but they've got that tree frog as their mascot.
Yeah.
And there's loads of trees inside.
And they release animals while you eat.
Yeah, you have to run. And you have to hunt them down with your key card.
Today's Rhino Tuesdays. All right.
Better eat quickly.
Release the rhinos.
You don't want to show up on Wolverine Wednesday.
No, you do not. That's when we release the spiders.
Wasn't there some like
Hugh Jackman's there.
mad oligarch or something that used to like release wild animals on his guests? as
Yes.
like,
Yes.
That's
really-
Mr. Burns.
Release the hounds.
There was,
No, it
a
was on an
Roman.
episode of QI.
It was a
And he used to
Roman.
like
Is a Roman ruler, right?
Oh, there's a
Roman-
Joker. That
Roman
Joker,
man.
yeah.
A
I can't,
Roman.
I can't remember who it was.
and he
And,
would
yeah, he like would
he'd be
invite
mid
made a
a
party
meal
and
and then
he'd
he'd just like
out.
yeah.
Yeah, as a
Just
joke. and then
stand
be
there like
Ha ha. It was better back then. All right, last question, guys. You geared up? I'm assuming because there's only 3 seconds left. Yeah.
Wait, are you gonna choose one person to answer this?
No, everyone's going to
No,
answer the
it's
last
everyone.
question.
Have you ever had the desire to write your initials in wet cement?
Have you ever had a desire to write your initials in wet cement? Everyone answer at once. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
everything and then have it pay off rather
That's half in the bag. That's something else.
That's something. That's a different
That's
video.
something
Now
else.
we've got 4 minutes.
No,
What are we gonna do?
3 minutes and
Why
20
don't we-
seconds.
Wait, is this a
Do we
70
see if
review? Is there any questions in that?
Is the what? In the
Are there any
70-minute
questions?
read. Okay, let's start.
Did you like it? There you go.
I never saw it. I don't know. I'm not a big Star
Will-
Wars guy.
Will Doubt us remember our names for the outro?
Ooh, I could, but it's not time for the outro yet. Can we all just sit quietly for the next minute and 30 seconds? 2 minutes, 30
Yeah,
seconds?
yeah, okay, yeah.
Why don't you play a Mr. Pibb commercial?
Alex,
You already
shut the
ruined it.
fuck Up.
You had one job, Alex.
All right, ready? Go.
Well, hello there, guys, girls, non-binary people. It's Reed here yet again. Now,
Non-binary.
today with us, people, we got that box back there as their sidekick. Let's not forget, we also have everybody's favorite ass, ASSJW. We got Alexa. You like Dr. Pepper?
All right, I'm bored of that already. We're gonna go over you guys instead. All right, so guys, that was our Pitch Please YogBlog crossover.
Oh yeah, pitch please.
This is what it was. Plus Briony
A thing that happened.
and Briony's
was
double dip. The Pitch Please YogBlog Briony's double dip is the name of this
Yeah.
episode. We got let's see if I can remember everyone's names. We got Tom Hazel in the top
Hello.
left, who you
That's
can
me.
you can catch at Amadeus Fink on his Twitter. Let's pull it up. Twitter.com/Amadeus.
I'm gonna load up my Twitter now.
Yes.
We're just gonna.
Oh,
search
see,
for
I
more
follow.
Facebook
I follow you,
photos.
RAs. I know who you are. So we did that over here. You can follow him over
Here's where
here.
it lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. All the links are in the chat.
All the links are there. Oh,
So where you can
perfect.
find it, just open up your Internet Explorer. Go to
www.
I don't keep my personal records safe.
HTTPS. Yeah, so you can find them that, or you can find them on the Pitch Please podcast, or you can find them on High Rollers every Sunday. I was going to ask you a whole bunch of questions about that, but yeah, except for this Sunday.
We wanted to know more important things,
Thanks.
like would he milk a corpse?
Have you ever seen a tall man?
I love the Jonathan Frakes 3-hour power hour.
I kind of like that. I should integrate that more.
Well, now you can.
We got to see if you can ask more questions for next time. You got Briony. You can find her at Briony K, twitch.tv/BrionyK. For those of you who don't know, she is in fact in the Yogscast.
Oh my god.
Turner! Alex Turner! And Briony Turner. There we go. I still don't know your first name.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of Briony, and it's easy to completely miss her. She is part of the Yogscast.
Briony's also here.
Unforgettable Turner.
You can catch her on twitch.tv/BrionyK. You can also look her up here at the Bois, BWAA, on Twitter. We got Chris, who I never learned your last name.
I'm like Madonna.
Oh, you follow me. God damn it. I follow him now.
He slept with Guy Ritchie.
Yay. Yeah, Chris Youles, you can catch his video games, Brunch Club. Do you publish underneath a different Foxy Box Games? That's your developer.
That'll do.
So Foxy Box Game. Oh, drink Glorp. Drink more Glorp. If you guys haven't played this yet, this is a ton of fun. What?
I'm just
Foxy
Brunch
Box
Club.
does not make drink more glurp.
Yes.
Foxy Box also doesn't make.
Yes.
I'm Brunch Club and twitch.tv/nice and crispy. I'm very on brand across the board.
Foggy Box.
Yeah. Also, Landlord Super is 10% off. Is it? It might not be anymore.
No, it's not, Alex.
It's
That
very
was
recently
a
out.
week ago.
I'm so
It's
sorry,
very
guys.
recently
I'm so
out, and
sorry,
it's,
Chris. I feel like I.
That's
Good.
fine.
Hang on,
I'm
I
sorry,
need to hear
Chris.
Alex's outro.
Yeah, let's hear it for Alex.
You're right.
And then you can follow Chris. We're not done yet. It says Bobby Fox right here.
Alex, who's doing the outro here?
Brunch Club. You can buy Brunch Club now on Steam. It's a fun party game, and it's something to play while you're all stuck inside every fucking day. And it's actually a fun party game. Get it now.
Yay.
And leave a review. Leave a review.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have Alex Turner.
All right.
And you can get him at Ajit Photography.
Yeah, I need to change that. Oh, that's Briony. That's our favorite holiday. Oh, my favorite
Oh,
holiday.
that's your favorite holiday.
Getting his name. He thinks it's Ajit.
Kajit. Kajit got wares if you got coin.
Ajit.
I just realized that's your
Photos
initials.
If you have coin.
Alex James Turner. I just sorry, I just said that shit.
I'm in pain.
I told myself
My knees are sweaty.
I woke up this morning. I exercised. I didn't drink or smoke. I was like, I'm gonna take this. This is gonna be a great interview, and I'm gonna. And
It was great.
It was great.
Alex
Very-
Turner is an
very
editor at the Yogscast, and he's also part of Pitch Please. You can catch him on his Twitter and in the background of Briony's streams because he doesn't stream himself, or he does, but like in tandem.
I also edit.
You do? You're an editor?
For the main channel.
Why do you do that still? You're a face now. You don't have to be an editor when you become a face. What do you think Mark Humes did? Mark Humes was the community manager. He said, fuck that. And then now look at him. He's great.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to quit. Thanks, Daltos.
Don't tell Lewis.
Tom Hazel quits live on stream.
For fuck's sake.
Next
Oh,
week on YogBlog. Do you ever quit your job on stream?
Guys, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. You made these 3 hours fly
great.
by. We're
so
gonna.
much fun. I have a fucking massive headache. Holy shit.
It happens. But guess
My
what?
face-
You never have to do this again. You're done.
Deltos, what? I want to come back. Deltos, does this go anywhere?
I put it on my channel.
I've been live this whole time, Tom.
No, I mean, does it go like elsewhere? Like,
I
'cause
would-
after like 45 days, it vanishes.
I would absolutely love it if it went on the Yogs Live. We've done this 3 times already, you guys included. It's on my channel, YouTube / something. Daltos. Just look up Daltos. We got boof
Could have
sex.
just said no, it doesn't go anywhere.
No.
This is a worse outro than Alex does on Pitch Please every fucking week, where it never ends.
Oh my god.
Oh.
If you want to talk to whoever's in charge of Yogs Lives, I'll get them put up there. But not, you can catch them on my channel over here. Yeah.
Next question.
Next question. We're gonna raid Harry or Ben.
Your computer have a mind of its own.
Is your YouTube name Llamalicious1234?
Yes.
That's a story for another time.
Another age.
You know that wombats can do square poos.
Right.
Yes. And on that note, we're gonna raid Ben. You guys stick around for Ben.
Oh, holy shit.
Love you all. All right.
Bye.
Goodbye. We're actually not done. 4 more seconds.
Oh, holy shit.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, kill me.
Jesus.
And we're done.
Oh, that was good. That was
You
fun.
you never have to do this ever again.
No, that was great. Like, if you ever want
Yeah,
us
that's
back.
good. That was
Yeah?
good.
I'm glad we
Enjoyed
got
that.
you guys
Thank you
back.
very
Never
much.
do this again.
The problem is that we're always mad at each other.
Yeah?
It just gets worse as the
It
night
just
goes
gets
on.
worse.
Oh, holy shit.
At one point, I had to have, because I didn't sleep well last night, I had this, which is just
You came just in time.
pure caffeine as a gel.
Just,
I
you're
had
eating
that.
caffeine gel?
100 grams.
No, like you drink it, it's just like isotonic, but there's a
What?
gel, and it fucked me up about 5 minutes into the start of this.
You've been
That was like
squeezing
comedy.
caffeine gel into your soda.